See?
Is it like that on live too? Is it like that on can't be on your
No, no.
this better. So yeah, we just had to restart it, y'all. We had to restart it. Don't know what the technical difficulties.
Peace, y'all.
The technical difficulties. Okay. So y'all share this live. Let's get some people in here. Let's get to it. Well, y'all know I was speaking on earlier live, y'all, about well, like I say, understanding life. It's a whole different, y'all. Like I say, understanding life, man, is totally different from the way we was brought up. Um, you know, the value of life is one of the most important things, and a lot of people don't really understand this until they get old. You know, until they done live their so-called life, they be like, man, boy, I wish I could go back, boy. I do this that way, I do this. Like you shouldn't. Like too many people to live life where we don't have we should have their guidance now. And I was riding today listening to Al Green. You know, how can you mend a broken heart? When it talks about nobody tells us about the sorrows. You know, when you're a baby, it's all just happiness and just a lot of fakeness. What about tell us? Keep it real, like we always say, keep it real. Tell us about the sorrows. Get us prepared for the sorrows. Help us understand life so we won't have to. We might not go through those sorrows. But if you hide sorrows from us, and then the sorrows come, now we don't even know how to deal with them because we've never been prepared. So like I say, understanding life. If you truly understand life, you'll teach people about the sorrows. You'll show them everything if you truly understood life. Because in nature is it don't get no more realer than nature. When it comes to nature, so human nature have to get back to the nature of things, which is the original. And stop with the fakeness. It's too much artificial on every level, but it first starts there. That's why we got so much artificial on the regular level. Because it first started again when you was a baby and the way you was brought up. Everything fake. Toys. So now we think life is material. So I was saying earlier, like, what is really a good house? Is a good house a big house in the neighborhood? You living in it by yourself? Or was a good house when all the kids were sleeping on the floor at grandma's house? Everybody cooking. That was a good house. You see what I'm saying? Those were the good houses. So when we get into what is really a good house, we look into the material, how big it is, how nice it is. Now, of course, we don't want to know regular house. I'm not saying I'm not, but your house is not measured by how big it is and how good it looks. It's about the people in the house. That's life. So even when you buy the house, think about the people you're gonna put in it.
Because a lot of people got big houses and they inside is tore up. It's like
no life.
And it's not a home.
It's just really it's just a fancy house that look good. Oh, it look good. Man, it look good. Ain't no life in there. You know, like I say, so understanding life, y'all, especially for this generation. I was saying earlier, man, sometimes I wish we can go back to, you got to find information. You got to go to the library and get that little card and find the cute, find the number, find the alphabet, and go down the road and get the book, sit down and read it. Because since knowledge is at our fingertips, we don't respect knowledge. That's like having a whole bunch of money. You don't worry about $100 when you got a lot of money. Don't spend that, man. It ain't nothing. Only somebody who don't have something, they not even gonna throw away $100. You know, that $100 might last them a whole week. They're gonna be pitching off of it. But to a rich person, that $100 is nothing. So we are a generation, we are rich of information. We are flooded with information. You know, information pouring from here, information pouring from there. So now we don't respect information no more. We don't respect it. And to see, this is how we go into the great Babylon. We go into the prophecy of how Babylon became great. Because like I say, some people can be move a crowd. They can move 1 million people right now. And they lying their ass off. But they Babel can move 1 million people. It have been done. It already been proven. This stuff, now I'm telling you, has been proven. People that moved 1 million people and they was lying. You couldn't do that back then. You couldn't stand behind a book. And you at least had to be a fighter, a warrior. To move that many people back then, you had to show something. You couldn't have a certificate and a book. and hey, come see me. Nah, y'all, come on now, man. That's like I said, that's when you get into great Babylon. People are looked at as great men and women, and they Babylon. Babylon the Great, y'all. So, y'all get in here, y'all share live. Hopefully, we get a good conversation in, man. Y'all know we ain't taking notes. We ain't taking notes. So we decent. We got love. You know, we hope you come with the same thing.
Peace, Adam.
What's going on? Man, I'm gone. But yeah, you let him know. Yeah, y'all. So we got another guest. Damn, COVID.
COVID is an academic term in pronunciation for the word common cold.
Correct.
No such thing as.
I seen you had the mask on, so I was just you had the mask on your profile picture.
Oh, that was when I was going through chemo.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going through chemo. 2-time cancer survivor.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Strong brother. So what you got for us today, brother?
I would like to ask you 2 questions, if you don't mind.
2 questions. So all you got
2
is
questions.
2?
A whole 2 questions, and maybe those 2 questions start a conversation, a respectful conversation.
Okay. And did this your first time up here?
Yes, it is, sir.
Okay.
May I proceed?
Yeah, go ahead.
My first question is, can you tell me what indoctrination that you follow? My second question is, can you also explain the ideology that you follow?
I don't follow a doctrine. I don't follow ideology. That's why we fulfill. So anybody that follows a doctrine or ideology, they'll follow the devil. Because doctrine comes from a doctor, healing. Somebody gonna come heal you. But the only healing that's gonna come from the scriptures is the fulfillment of the vision. The fulfillment of the vision is what heals us. Doctrines and ideology don't heal us. That's deception.
May I respond?
Go ahead.
I didn't say indoctrinate. I said indoctrination. That's a total different definitional word, sir. You can't cut the word in half and give me an understanding of it. You have to give me an understanding of the whole word.
Well,
You split it
I
in
wasn't
half.
trying to give you understanding. You asked me what I was following, and I was saying I don't follow no indoctrination, no doctrine, no nothing. You know,
Okay.
I wasn't trying to give you understanding of the word. I was trying to
Okay. So if you don't have an indoctrination and you don't have an ideology,
you say
can
I
you
follow.
explain? Huh?
You asked me what do I follow?
Yes. Well, let me rephrase what you follow, believe in, have faith in. Maybe
Well,
I
yeah,
should have been more specific. I apologize for that.
I believe in God.
Okay. Do you read biblical literature?
Yes, I read biblical literature.
Okay, so if you read biblical literature, it's safe to assume you have an indoctrination.
Now I read the Quran too.
Okay, which Quran do you read? There's three. Which one do you read?
I read the one the Muslim woman gave me. So I don't know. I ain't never knew
So
that.
you read the one that starts with the Q, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got the one that
Okay,
starts.
so you know there are two Qurans older than that, and they both start with the letter K.
Well,
Are
I
you
also have that
familiar?
one too. Yeah, I also have that
You,
one.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I apologize.
So I was saying I also have the Quran with a K.
Do you have the Quran with the KL? The Quran. You have
No,
that?
I don't have that one.
Okay. I'm just asking questions. That's all. I'm just asking
Oh, it's
questions.
cool. It's cool, brother. Yeah, it's cool.
Okay.
I'm just answering, brother.
Okay. Have you read the Aquarian Gospel of Jesus Christ?
Say it again.
The Aquarian Gospel of Jesus Christ.
I,
Familiar with that?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to rephrase my question, and it's based on what you said out of your mouth. You said you read the Quran and you read gospel text. Gospel text. Am I correct in that?
Yeah.
So
What?
if you,
Just not the Bible though. Yeah, but go ahead.
it don't matter, the Bible or whatever, if you read these biblical scriptures, you have an indoctrination. There's just no way around that. If you believe in what you're reading, you have an indoctrination. To say that you don't have one and you read scriptures from these books, that's redundant and condescending. What do you think about that?
Well,
The scriptures is
the
not.
scriptures, like when you deal with indoctrination, the scriptures don't talk. So indoctrination has to come from somebody that's teaching the scriptures. Correct?
No. That's incorrect. The ideology comes from someone who's teaching the indoctrination. The indoctrination, I'll give you an example, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
Most Christians follow the indoctrination, which is called, from an academic perspective and terminology, the gospel according to Paul, and or the Pauline epistle, and or the 13 letters to the churches. Are you familiar with that?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, well, it's here's the problem that we have as black people. I don't know if you consider yourself black, but I'm just going to say our people. When someone doesn't know something, we tend to look at them because we've been indoctrinated by the white devil or the white man or the ancient term, the Tamu or the Eurasian, that you're stupid, that you're dumb, that you don't know nothing. It's okay not to know nothing. I don't know what's in your refrigerator because I don't know what's in your refrigerator. That makes me dumb. This is the point I'm trying to get across. It's okay not to know.
But brother,
Do that
it's
make
not
sense to
the,
you, sir? Ma'am?
There's a lot of people who read the Bible, but they don't know who Christ is. They don't know who God is. So we're trying to get you to understand. It doesn't matter. We agree. It doesn't matter what book you have. It's about the fulfillment of God's prophecy.
Okay,
So the
go
Bible
ahead. I'm
doesn't. The
sorry. I
Bible
didn't mean to cut you off. I didn't mean to interrupt. I apologize. Go ahead.
Yeah, the Bible isn't an indoctrination. You become indoctrinated by a man when someone is teaching you about the Bible, because the Bible tells you there's no private interpretation. But guess what? People still put their private interpretation on it. They don't come in the fulfillment. They're not the ones who understand the prophecy. They're not the one who comes to unseal it, which the Bible talks about. But they read it and
Okay.
they still don't understand it. So it's not for everyone.
I respect that. So, in reference, what did are you done, ma'am?
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Based on what you just said out of your mouth, where did you get this understanding that you have from? Did it come from a man
It came from
or a
an
woman?
no, it came from an anointed man.
Okay, but nevertheless, it came from a man, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, correct.
Based on what you just said. But prior to that, you referenced getting biblical understanding as coming to you from a man. And
But
you got it the
but
same way the same way you just said I mean, I'm sorry, you got it the same way you just shot it down.
Well,
I
no,
don't understand that
it,
part.
it's different because every man isn't anointed. Every man doesn't come in the fulfillment. Every man doesn't come to unseal it. The book is talking about a man. Like we can't separate what Christ is, which is a man, and what man is, which is man. Like we are both we all are mankind, but there's a level, there's a hierarchy when it comes to God.
Okay, I have no problem with that. So my question to you, because of what you just said, when you say Christ, you refer to Christ as a man, correct?
Correct. And
Christ is a title; it's not a name.
yeah, it's a title for a
For
man.
a man that
Okay,
every have.
it's correct. It's a title for a man.
Yeah. That
You are
every man
100.
have.
So if I say to you, the Christ that you're referring to is actually Ptolemy the First Sator, would you agree or disagree with that? Are you familiar?
Yeah, we'll disagree. That's why we testify that Christ walking the earth right now. This is why we say this is why these things were said to you. So, like when it comes to Christ, Christ is a title given to a living man.
Okay.
I'm gonna say it again. Christ is a title, as we both agree, but the title is given to a living man from among the people. The Europeans took it and put it as a historical story. When it never was supposed to be a historical story, the Bible is just an example of how Christ comes. A man from among the people, like Moses, to get the people out of their condition. That's it. That's the simplest way to put Christ. So if anybody
Okay.
prophesizing about Christ or talking about a Christ outside of the generation that they are part of, we already know that they haven't came out of Babylon yet. We automatically know because anybody testifying to Christ or any anointed vessel, that a vessel always was among them.
Okay. Switching conversation now. Based on what you just said, you just referenced Moses. Am I correct?
Yes,
Okay. Now, with that being said, my question to you guys is Moses wrote the first 5 books of the Bible. Is that correct?
correct.
Moses who?
Well, if you want to go to the higher understanding, Moses is an example of a high priest. That's why Moses is a character to the anointed vessels who God showed visions to, which was high priests. But all these high priests was rejected. That's why Moses with an ES on the end. So, but like I say, that's for people who have the eyes to see and the ears to hear. Everybody don't have that. So I don't give that kind of information out all the time. But again, we know Moses is not a physical person you could find in history, but Moses allegory to the anointed vessels that God, chose back then to get the people out of worship, which is Egypt.
Okay. I can accept that. So now that we understand, well, now that it's understood that Moses is a fictional character and never historically lived, am I correct in what I'm saying?
Yes.
When I asked you, did Moses write the first 5 books of the Bible? You're saying that's allegory, correct?
Yeah, it's allegory for the men who actually took part in writing the visions that were shown. Which are
Oh,
that's why we have these people. The Bible is an East African book. A lot of us don't know this. A lot of us haven't even fact checked this, but this is where this book come from. So the story was written by real men. But again, everything is allegory because remember, they was writing a vision. They wasn't writing a story. The vision, the vision got written down in story form, just like a song. Like if I have a vision, but I put it in a song, that's basically what the prophets did. They had vision, they wrote a song down. That's why they call it the Song of Moses. It's called the
okay,
Song of Moses.
It
So
does have a meaning.
yeah, so these stories have a meaning that's connected to God's prophecy. It's not
okay,
connected to worldly events and the news and what we connected with, you know.
okay,
And this is why the Bible is a sealed book. So when it even comes to reading the Bible, Quran, or any holy book, no man is worthy to go in the book except Christ, which is the one who has the title. He will have the rights to go in the book and bring the correct doctrine to the people. But the people didn't wait on this. We all went in the book. Every man, every woman grabbed their book, put their own interpretation on it, heard their teachers, whatever felt good, they went and worshiped. That's the world we living in.
okay. Now, I'm not interrupting, am I?
No, no, no.
Now, you just stated in this last sentence, Christ and indoctrinate, right? You did just say that, correct?
Yeah, I say Christ brings the true indoctrination.
Okay, so you also said when I asked you earlier, my first question is you don't follow indoctrination. That is what you told me, right?
Correct.
Okay, but wait, hold on, sir, hold on. But yet you turned right around just now and gave me an indoctrination of Christ. That's what you just did.
I didn't give you, well, brother, when you asked me, do I follow indoctrination? I said no to let you know I'm set apart. I don't follow nothing that you think I'm following because I know you don't know Christ. This is what I know. So since you don't know Christ and you ask me, do I follow indoctrination?
Now
You're
wait a
gonna
minute,
say
hold
no because
on.
whatever I'm following, you don't know it. You don't. So I'm not following indoctrination. Actually, what I'm following is a fulfillment. But I
I'm
only use
on.
the word indoctrination because these are the words you use. So I'm not slick talking. I'm not whatever I said. I'm gonna stand on from the beginning. I'm not gonna change nothing. So my answer to you is I still follow no indoctrination. But
Okay,
since you
so
use the word, I just decided to bring it in the conversation back up just to show you how everything else is false unless it's coming from Christ.
respect. I have no problem with that. So with that being said, can you rephrase the question then?
I didn't ask a question.
No, 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 no. Can you No, you're right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah, I asked the
Can
question.
can you rephrase the understanding that you just gave me then, and not use the word indoctrination? Can
Well,
you rephrase that?
Christ is the one that brings the truth in a world full of lies, which
So
which, which is what's gonna heal us.
I'm just trying to get understanding. I'm not trying to be combative. I'm not trying to be
Yeah, that's
difficult.
cool.
I'm just looking for understanding. That's all. That's all.
Right. Yeah, that's basically that's why I said the doctrination of healing. Because that's why I call a doctrine is a form of a doctor. But Christ is the one that's gonna heal the nations with the truth that the world don't
So,
have.
so you're saying that in the perspective of healing and doctor, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, so that's where I'm kind of confused because you're using this term. These are the terms that I'm hearing
Man,
from you.
brother, scratch out the terms, man. Christ is bringing the truth in the dark world. So forget doctrine, forget doctor. We could scratch that word. I ain't never got to say it again. Christ
Okay,
brings,
I have no problem with that.
yeah,
I have no problem with that.
and he's on earth. You see what I'm saying? Like that's really all because a lot of people get caught up in wordplay, man. Like wordplay, you like I could say come dive in that water with me. You'll be like, well, you ain't got no swimming pool, y'all. G. Why you told me to come dive in the water with you? You gotta understand what I mean. So words, you could You a dictator, so you could put your own definition on any word you want. So who the
Well,
hell is
yeah.
Webster? Like, who the
Well,
hell is
well,
Webster for me to follow every definition he gave? We don't
your
do that.
point.
You see
Your
what I'm saying?
point is
So we ain't gonna play the little small words and let that trip us up and what we trying to really get to the meat of. You know,
your
so
your
let's get to the meat. You
your
know,
point is well taken. Your point's well taken. So you don't follow an indoctrination, you don't follow an ideology, but you quote religious scripture.
well,
That's
I don't consider scripture religious. I consider scripture a prophecy. Now, the world have been taught scriptures and the Bible is religious. I don't believe that. I don't
okay.
follow that.
So since you don't believe, you're saying you factually know,
Okay,
right?
there you go. There you go.
Okay. Okay. Well, see how easy we came to that understanding.
Oh yeah,
Okay, so you also stated that Christ is here on earth. Is that correct?
correct,
Is he in Atlanta?
correct. You must
Okay.
you must have already talked to some people who some of the witnesses.
No, 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 no. This is information I got like 20 years ago. This is not new information. This is
Hold
old information.
on. So you telling me you got 20 years ago it was revealed to you that Christ was gonna be in Atlanta?
No, no, no. It was not revealed to me that he was going to be in Atlanta. It was stated 20 years ago that he was in Atlanta by Hebrew Israelites. You know, it's so many different sets, and I'm not going to tie you to a set. It's so many different sets that I heard that 20 years ago.
So you heard a
Now, wait
Hebrew?
a minute, hold on. I can't be specific what group said that, but I've heard that before. Like I said, 20 years ago. That's why I said it's not new information, and I'm not trying to use wordplay or nothing like that. I'm just sharing information that I had received 20 years ago. So if that's incorrect, which it sounds like that's what you're saying, that I could have never heard that 20 years ago, how is it that you can say I never heard that 20 years ago?
No,
Is this something recent?
but if you heard it 20 years ago, like who is the individual? It was 20 years ago, so have you looked into that individual who is the Christ in Atlanta?
Have I looked into the individual? Well, you got to remember. Well, actually, no, I didn't look into it. Let me explain. 20 years ago, the internet system wasn't as sophisticated as it is today. So you didn't have access to the resources like what we're doing right now. To research something 20 years ago, you physically had to walk up into a library or something. It wasn't in your hand.
But brother, we talking about the Bible, we talking about Christ. We're not talking about multiple books. We're just talking
No.
about Christ being
Sweet.
on earth.
And being in
So
Sweet.
Atlanta
yeah.
20 years ago.
That's what we talking about in Atlanta. So my statement to you was I heard that 20 years ago. And the response seems to be I could have never heard that 20 years ago. Am I correct in what I'm saying?
Well, I was saying it's kind of hard to say that was said 20 years ago. Now I'm not saying you didn't. You could have heard it. I can't. It's no argument. I can't say you really didn't. But
Right.
it's just hard for me to fathom because for the last almost a little over a year now, this is what has been pushed out already. So when somebody tells
By
me
who?
by our community that Christ is in line, so since we have been pushing that for a year now, and when someone come up and say, "Oh, somebody said that 20 years ago,"
And don't have
you
no
know,
like
and
don't
like
have a
yeah,
name,
so
don't
that's why I made that face, So like I said, for me, but for you, if it happened, it happened. That's no need to hear it out. But what we
Well,
hold
may
on,
I ask a
hold on.
question, please?
That's
Okay,
cool.
go
But
ahead.
I
I'm
just
sorry.
want
I'm
to say
sorry.
this. But like I say, really, if it was 20 years ago, it don't matter. He Christ in Atlanta now. So, and it ain't the one that was here 20 years ago. I promise you that. So
Okay, like I said to the queen, I didn't research it or follow up on who said it or nothing. I didn't, so there's no reason for me to sit here and lie to you guys about it. I just didn't. I just heard it in passing. That's all.
okay,
You
okay,
know, that's all that was. And I wasn't trying to say that to be facetious. That wasn't why I said that.
okay, yeah, yeah.
So my question to you is based on what you just said in reference to how did it come about all of a sudden? Someone told you that or taught you that or the Lord revealed that to you. Am I correct?
Well, Christ Himself,
Christ himself revealed that to you.
correct.
Okay. All right. I don't have a problem with that. I mean, I have no problem with that. I'm just asking questions so I can do my own research and homework. That's all. All
Yeah,
right.
best way, brother. That's the best way, man.
Yeah. Yeah. No doubt. No doubt. No doubt.
Ask
No doubt.
questions, you get your answers.
I'm
Like I say,
sorry.
let your mind, you know, make up the decision. I was saying when you ask questions, you get answers, and let your mind make up the decision.
Well, I try not to be compulsive. I try my best not to be compulsive. I try to keep an open mind to information because the information I have within my head, I'm sure there's more information to learn and understand, you know?
Hmm.
So I try not to just limit myself to one particular thing. So when I ask the questions that I ask, it's just so I can have understanding, not to be, like I said, facetious.
I got you. I got you. But
There's truth in everything, but we just got to learn to filter out the negativity that's entangled in the truth. You agree with that?
mhm. There's no
Yes.
lie without the truth. No lie without the truth.
So I have another question I would like to ask you. How do you know something to be true? How do you know something to be a lie? Is it faith and belief based, or do you just know?
The lie keeps you wondering. The truth gives confirmation.
So the
Everybody in
truth
the
said,
church, yeah, the truth gives a confirmation like nothing. You know how somebody lie to you and your mind be wondering, be like, I don't know if that's true. But
right?
sometimes somebody come give you the whole truth and you like, oh no, I know that's the truth.
Yeah.
So like I say, it's almost like light and dark. The lie always keep you in darkness. The truth gives you enlightenment. And also with the truth it comes rest. The lie you always seeking, you always looking for the truth. When you have the truth, you don't look no more. You at
Okay.
rest. So all those are just attributes. When you really receive the truth, you know it. It's a different kind of feeling. So it has nothing to do with religion or none of that. It's not faith based. It's simple. Like I said, that's why everything is a manifestation.
Okay. All right. That's fair. I have no problem with that. I have another question I would like to ask you. This is a personal question, if you don't mind, and it's for the both of you guys. Okay. Are you Hebrews or are you Hebrew Israelites or are you Israelites?
Oh man, that's probably it's kind of hard to say, man, because people have their own. We really all of them. We're Muslim, we're Hebrew, we're Hebrew Israelite, we're Jehovah Witness, and we Christian. So we all of those things because we are the manifestation of what people are acting like. People are acting like Hebrews. People are acting like Jehovah Witness. People are acting like Christians. We are those things because all those words, like you said, is no, like you said earlier, is no lie without the truth. Well, I say there's no lie without the truth, but you say the truth is in everything.
Okay.
So a lot of people are acting like a Jehovah Witness, but they can't be a Jehovah Witness because they ain't witnessed Jehovah. A lot of people are acting like Christians, but they can't be Christians because they don't have Christ to follow. See what I'm saying? So they can never be a Christian. So that's what I mean. Like Israelites don't have light. They're bringing enlightenment, so they can't be Israelites. All
Okay.
Israel, not Israel. So we're not like we are all those things, but again, we are the true manifestation of. We're not. So we don't really attach those names because they come with images already. So when you say those names, people already have their image for you. That's why they ask you, what are you? Well, we alienated. We're not of this world. So now we children of God, we righteous men and women. Those are the titles we carry, righteous men and women. Now, of course, when we in conversation with people, you might hear me say, well, yeah, I am a Hebrew Israelite because I know who I'm talking to and I know where they mind at. But
Okay.
to answer your question, because I see where your mind at, I wouldn't attach myself to those names because they come with images.
Okay. Well, like I said, I only asked because I just was not aware, and I didn't want to be disrespectful in no term. You
Respect.
know what I'm saying? So I just felt it was best to ask the question, so that way, if I was to say something, it wouldn't be disrespectful. You
Mm-hmm.
following me?
I got you. I got you.
Is that fair?
That's foul, brother. That's foul.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, all right. Now, do you mind me asking questions?
Well, no, that's what we come up here for.
Okay, the title, The Devil Teaches the Bible We Fulfill, right?
Correct.
Okay, my question is in reference to the devil.
Mm-hmm.
The devil, according to scripture, has killed only 10 people in biblical literature, whereas God has killed innocents in the Bible. And when I say innocents, I mean he flooded the planet. He did the Passover. He killed the firstborn, even though the firstborn was adults, teenagers, and or children. These are things God did. Am I correct in what I'm saying?
No, the devil deceived the whole world.
So in biblical literature that you read from,
Yeah,
God didn't, wait a minute, hold on, sir. Hold on. God didn't flood the planet and kill everybody on it except 8 people. That didn't happen.
yeah, but that's not an actual flood like we. That's what I'm saying. These are parables and metaphors.
It's not physical death.
Yeah.
Okay, so that didn't happen. Is that what you're telling me?
No, it's a parable actually.
Okay, so the killing of the Hebrew children during Passover, that's a parable too, then, correct?
Correct. Yeah. That's why you have to unalive. We can't say KL. We can't say KILL. TikTok or banners.
Okay,
But
well, unalive, that's modern day
but
terminology.
yeah, I know. But I just want to, like I said, that the TikTok is very sensitive when it comes to our panels. So
Okay, that's fair.
um,
I respect that. I
so
respect that.
that's why I also say unalive the flesh.
Okay.
So you can walk in your mind. So like I said, these are just parables of showing you it's not actual physical where God just physically unalive people. That's not what the scriptures are talking about.
So if that's the case, why do we have to be subservient to anything,
Well, you don't have to.
especially if
Well,
Jesus walking the planet?
God give you free will, brother, so you can do whatever you want. Like every man and woman but it's consequences. Like in America, you can do what you want. It's consequences. So even when it comes to God, you can do what you want. You don't have to be subservient or nothing, but it's consequences.
Okay. So literally in scripture, God didn't flood the planet and kill everybody except 8 people. And literature, biblical literature, God didn't kill the firstborn of the Hebrew children and or adults. And in literature, the devil that only killed 10 people, which is Job's children, that didn't happen as well, correct?
Well, have you ever heard of The Walking Dead?
The television show?
No, like just the phrase of the term The Walking Dead.
Well, yes, I've heard of that. Yes, I've heard of that.
Do you understand what it means?
Are you speaking as far as biblical understanding or modern day understanding?
I would say I would
Both.
yeah, both. Like The Walking Dead.
Okay, if I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead, sweetie.
No, I said no, it's both. That's what I'm saying. Like, do you have the meaning of it?
Well, the definition of it today is zombies walking the planet, the undead, correct?
So what does it mean biblically?
It means nothing biblically because it didn't. That term wasn't used back then, or is that term used in literature? Is it? And if it is, can you direct me to it?
No, I'm just trying to show you like the pun, the metaphor of what, because the scriptures are an allegory. Christ spoke in parables, so what you're reading is not carnal, it's spiritual.
Okay, so when you say it's not cardinal, that's I asked you at the beginning of our conversation, do you follow an indoctrination? And you just used the word cardinal. In the Pauline epistle of doctrination, you got carnal atonement, the total depravity, you got sin, original sin, you got I can't call off the top of my head, but you got all these different terms and phrases that's a part of an indoctrination, and
I'm saying that
you
it's
just
not.
use.
I'm saying that it's not cardinal. All I'm saying is spiritual. I'm not saying it is cardinal. I'm saying how you think of the scripture is fleshly. It's not spiritual. So I'm trying to get you to understand the spiritual meaning of the Walking Dead. That's what I
Okay,
focus on. If you know the meaning of the spiritual phrase of the Walking Dead.
okay. If I can show you 4 scriptures in the Bible that says Paul made up all of it, could you accept it? Because to follow Jesus Christ is to follow the gospel according to Paul, which is the Pauline epistles, which is the 13 letters to the churches.
Oh no, that's indoctrination. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what indoctrination is. Because again, we told you to follow Christ is to follow Christ, not letters. Like Paul tell you, don't follow the letters.
Okay, so no, Paul gave the letters to the 13 churches. He
But
didn't tell you don't follow it.
yes, see, that's what I'm saying. And the letters it say, do not follow ink. Ink unalives you. This is what's in the
Follow.
letter. So, no, so that's what I'm saying. If I write you a letter of instruction and you take the letter wrong and you don't really read the letter and understand the letter, who fault that is? Is the person that wrote the letter, or is the person that read it and don't understand it?
The only reason why I'm back at this point is because I hear phrases, I hear words and terminology that reference an indoctrination.
I know, but brother, no, you
You
are
come
giving
in with
us
a doctrine.
indoctrination. We are giving understanding. See, this is what you gotta understand. That's why we say the book is sealed. Understanding gonna come from people who pick up the book. They not worthy to pick up the book, but since the book was given to you, you read it. No
Well,
prophet
the
gave
book
you the
was given
Bible.
to you by a man or a woman. Am I correct?
It don't matter, but that's what I'm saying. You wasn't supposed to have the book, but since you have it and you read it, you do what the book tell you don't do, which is lean to your own understanding. Everybody that reads the Bible is in the Bible. Do not lean to your own understanding. But why do everybody read the Bible? They come with their own understanding. Then the Bible
So,
say what? I just want to say this. Then the Bible say what? Wait on the Lord. How many people waited on the Lord? Nobody read the Bible waiting on the Lord. They went to church. They got on their knees. They did everything but what? Wait on the Lord. So again, this is in the letter, but nobody follows the letter. They follow their own understanding, and the letter tells you don't do that. So people are coming with indoctrination, like what you said. You supposed to follow the 13 letters. No, that's indoctrination. You supposed
what
to
that's
follow
it.
Christ and hear Christ's voice. That's what's in
Okay.
all of us.
Okay. So let me ask you a question, Queen, if you don't mind. Do you realize and understand that you are God?
What? No, God is spirit. We talking about the true God. There's a lot of false gods.
Okay, so you're not familiar with you being God, the black woman being God. You're not familiar with that.
I think that's a new, indoctrination for people to lean onto because of the, society downfalling the black man. But That
So
has nothing to do.
so you gotta tell God who God is.
Right.
So
You
my
telling me you gotta tell God who God is?
hold on, brother.
Go ahead.
Point well taken, and it makes sense what you just said. And my question to you is, yeah, because if God don't know she's God, there you go. So my question, my response to what you just said, feel free to research it.
Brother,
That
you
hear me
never.
out, sweetie.
I
Hear me
didn't
out.
hear it, but I'm just saying, like, I'd never. It's like I've heard that plenty of times. It's not like you're the first one to tell me that. So
Okay, that's
those things have been researched, and it has not come to the truth.
it hasn't.
No,
How long
God,
have we been?
God
How,
is brother. God is spirit. God is not a gender. God is spirit. God pours the spirit onto living vessels, which are genders. But God is above human. That's why it's God, Christ, man, woman. That's the
so
order.
when I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead, sweetie.
I'm just saying that's the order.
So if when in the scriptures, when God say, "Let us create man in our image He created he, she, them, male and female,"
And you will die like men. People don't
that's
finish.
incorrect.
You will die
He's
like
talking about the Genesis scripture.
Genesis.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, but it say
So that
God
is
made male
correct, right?
and female. He made male and female.
Right.
Mhm.
Now that phrase is in Genesis 1:27.
Correct.
But God made male and female. A
Wait a minute,
female.
hold on, sweetie. Hold on, sweetie, if you don't mind. If in 127 he said he created man in his own image, he created he, she, them, male and female, how can Adam and Eve be the first two people created on the planet?
Well, that's not what Moses was teaching us. Adam and Eve is about the priesthood. You know, Adam and Eve is not really a story of the first man and woman. Moses wasn't giving us history. Moses was prophesying about the fall of man and the rise of man.
So he was.
So the whole Adam and Eve story is whole twisted. Like that's what I'm saying. The world have been indoctrinated already with the Adam and Eve. See,
So I'm
that's the
trying to.
indoctrination. But Adam and Eve is Moses wasn't trying to make them the first people on the face of the earth. That's not what Moses was prophesying.
So I'm trying to understand the understanding that you just stated to me came from a fictional character, Moses, with the ES, right?
Yeah, but it came from an allegory character like David, Abraham,
Okay, but
Jacob.
this same Moses
All
is
these
the Moses
allegories.
that wrote the first 5 books of the Bible, correct?
No,
Same Moses, right?
Moses represent a high priest. That's what Moses represent. Moses does not represent, like I said, it represents a real person. It's connected to a real person, but it's not just
Okay.
Moses. So if
Okay.
I'm writing a prophecy, you know, like Moses can be another word for team captain. You
I
got a
get you.
team
I
of
follow
priests.
you.
You got a
I
team
follow
of
you.
priests. Moses is always the team captain. So every generation gonna have a Moses. This generation got a Moses. Because
Okay.
so that's what that
Like
word
Harriet
shows.
Tubman was Moses.
Who?
Harriet Tubman was considered Moses.
Nah.
Isaac Hayes was considered Moses.
Yeah, that's what I say.
Yeah, yeah. I'm following you. So let me rephrase or recap so I can have an understanding on what you said. This fictional character Moses that wrote the first 5 books of the Bible is not a man. He's a prophet, correct?
correct. He's a
Okay.
man. He's a man. I ain't never say he's a man.
No, 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 no. Fictional man. He's not real,
Oh yeah,
correct?
yeah. He's not real, yeah, but he's connected to a real man.
Okay, so the book that he wrote happened before his own existence in the Bible. Am I
No,
correct?
no. The person that wrote Genesis was shown a vision like every other prophet. And
Can I ask you
they
who that
wrote
person was? Can I ask you who
well,
that person was?
I don't know the exact name. Like that name is, that's why again, when they wrote the vision, it wasn't about just writing about themselves. It was about writing the vision.
Okay, that was written? What language was that written in?
Um what that Geese?
Geese.
Yeah, Geese.
It was written in Geese.
Yeah. The
Okay,
ancient scrolls are written in Geese. The original writings of the Bible is in Geese.
okay, and that is in what period in human history?
I would have to say what the I don't know when it was started. I know when it was still being used widely. It is in the 1800s. You know, East
Okay.
Africa.
Wait, could you repeat that last part, please?
1800s in East Africa.
Okay. All right. No, no, that's something I'm going to have to research because I can't speak on it. All I can do is ask questions and try to get an understanding. I'm not going to ever pretend to know something. I ask because I'm not for sure. So that's something I'll have to research and look into. All right. King, Queen, I appreciate y'all time, patience, and giving me understanding wholeheartedly.
Okay, we appreciate the questions. You know, you sound like a very wise brother. Definitely got a good head on your shoulder, but we
I'm
got
just
some
looking
other
for some
people.
understanding.
Yeah, I think a lot of people come at us because, like I say, they can't get over the religion part. Because again, we have been taught when somebody is talking the Bible, they talking religion, and 99.9% of the time they is. But now
Right.
you got the one on earth, to bring a separation. That's why I say the gospel gonna consist of a lot of talks. You might hear me talking about the Quran, you might hear the Gnostics, you might hear the Bible, you might hear politics, but all
Right.
has to do
Right. I agree.
with the gospel. So we definitely encourage you to check out their website. We got a lot of information on there that you can look into and then get
Okay.
more in tune with what we're doing.
All right. That sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
All right. Peace be unto you, beautiful people.
All right, peace, brother.
All right. Be good.
Peace. Trolls.
What's goody, my friends?
Peace,
What's up?
peace.
Peace.
Yeah, so what's the topic of the day? Because I hear a lot of children over here. Feel me?
It says the devil teaches the Bible, we fulfill.
Are y'all from the United States?
You
Yeah,
said what's the topic, and then
ask another
yeah,
question.
which one?
All right, so I'm gonna put it straight. Yo, listen, I'm from the United States, right? I got the Bible, right? I read it. I applied it to what was going on current. We ain't hiding. You feel me? It's good to get information to help them out, but if they can't apply, if they do, you guys read the Bible?
Yeah, we read the
All
Bible.
right, no problem. Look, I'm black. I live here, dude. I ain't scared of no person in the earth. I said it for like 10 years. It's like automatic now, right?
Well, brother man, what's your you got any questions for us?
I would say, all all the education part, how are you applying, power and authority in the earth to show your dominion to actually get the kindergarten step started?
Well, we have a petition, we have a declaration, a case against the Roman Catholic Church if you go to the website. So we have a movement. We're not just up here
No,
on.
no, yeah, no doubt.
So
No,
yeah,
no doubt, no doubt. But to shut it down with power, right, and authority, you
the
don't you don't got-
authority.
you don't got to write notes about uh a week. Obviously, 'cause look, if they're not proper, they most likely have the less power, right? So, like, to even still try to inform people through their systems to inform them would show how a person wouldn't be capable on moving in the earth as full as they should be.
Well,
And
the authority is Christ. The authority is God. Anointing a son of man, and that's the highest authority on this earth. That's why.
right,
That's
right.
all religions, all governments are under the same system. That's why you have to put your hand on the Bible in some courts. But
Why? Of course, I wouldn't say put the hand on the Bible in some courts, but because the people should be already living the life to where they would just regularly just speak it, and they'll straighten it out. But I would say is when it came to like people being ambassadors, like states, um, from my understanding, I think an ambassador would possibly be someone who would easily be able to like be a governor, be a mayor. They will be easily able to rule with common sense and go to those places.
are you saying like trying to
because they
Infiltrated by working with it, like.
no, I don't want to say infiltrate by working with it. Obviously, you can't work with the little nigga. You feel me? You always flex and be like, yeah, you know what it is, right? Then through people not being able to hang, they'll probably say they're working with you. Um, because mind you, you're the people with the power. So it has to be like you always have the easiest solution to handle little nigga. Feel me? But if they never going outside of what they was taught or learned to try to bring solutions to situations or areas which they already understand is there, they're not applying it correctly.
So they're not applying it because the purpose of applying it is to create your own government, is to create a new government.
No, I wouldn't say create a new government because even though the people in there is supposed to be in there, you're supposed to at least work with them to a certain extent that you both have I guess common sense, right? But if it gets to a point where hey, um the leader is off the grid, right?
So
Our
so
laws
so
our
so,
law
so
our laws have
kind of lost in
told
the conversation, bro. I'm kind of, cause we kind of everywhere. So where are we going with the conversation? You know, because like I said, I'm hearing different things. I get where you're going. We represent leadership. That's what we calling out for. That's what our whole movement is about, to bring in new leadership. I know you say
right.
we don't need a new government, but we do believe we need a new government. New
No, of
government,
course, of course, of course. It was
new
told that we
government. Hold up, new
yep,
government consists of new leadership, new people in office. You know,
right. Bringing up
so
children to go into
right,
the government,
right. That's
right?
what I'm saying. So where are you going with this? Like, what's your question? Or like,
Like for the real
I'm
issue,
just trying to slow
right,
down.
right, right.
I'm
So
just
like
trying,
for the
brother, slow down. I'm just trying to have a foundation so we can won't be just be everywhere, just be free talking. So, what's your question, or what brought you on the panel today?
I'm a believer. Seeing a couple things like this up here, and I'm watching people's conversations, right? And I'm understanding that it's good and all. It's edifying. It's great. Um, for the people who want to be refreshed and really go handle the business and take care of the jobs. A lot of men is supposed to be going beam them up, Scotty. You get what I'm saying? So you have to figure out who's who, right? You're
Brother,
gonna have to.
brother,
You're gonna have to.
brother, you going into telling me something. I just asked you a question of what brought you up here.
Like I said, I'm hearing people, talk about
No,
Bible, which is great,
you
but
hearing people, you
it
talking
seemed
about us, you talking about you heard us talk about the Bible?
right. I think there was another dude up here. He was talking with you guys.
Yeah, yeah.
Again, I seen people in the list. They got comments and things like that. But to like, all right, I just asked you like this: you got Bible and stuff like that. What's the job? What are you supposed to do?
We supposed to
How
judge,
long? Look, how long?
judge the world. We supposed to judge the world and put it back in order.
You said you're supposed to judge the world and put it back in order.
Correct.
I'd say like this: how is that possible? How would you be able to judge the world and like just say like you with authority and power being able to, you know what I mean, be able to do that? How would you do that in the society that we live in? With how influences?
That's cool. That's cool. So I want to ask you this: who own majority of the world? Like, what country and what nation
All right, so I'll tell you
owns?
like this. I'll tell you
Hold
like
on,
this.
hold on, brother. Slow, this. I just want to, because I'm finna answer your question, but I need to know if you understand this first.
Okay.
So, what country and what people own majority of the world when it comes to America, the islands, and Africa?
All right, so listen. So I'll tell you like this, right? Uh, if they're doing wrong by the land, listen. For
Bro,
the person who got authority, for the person who got
bro,
authority and power. Look. For the
no,
person who has the authority and
bro,
power. Look.
that's not what I asked you. I
They
said
don't.
who.
They do. They don't. Look, none of them. I say they'll be easily taken over. Right? They could be easily
That's not.
taken. Taken from their
Well,
place. Right?
brother, if they could be easily taken over, when I told you about the judge it, you was acting like it can't be done. But you turn around saying it could easily be done.
No. What I'm saying is, when you were saying judge it, I said, how would you do that?
And that's why I asked you who is in control of majority of the world.
I say nobody particularly. It's definitely people. Right?
Okay. Who is the
But
king?
I
Hold on. Where has the queen and the king been the last 70 years in the world?
I'll say it like this: there is none. Maybe some of the citizens should claim to be one, right? And start reclaiming where they
Listen,
from.
listen. When you pay taxes and your birth certificate, your social security number, and all the taxes we pay, you know where it go to? It don't go everywhere. You know where it go? It go to one place. You know where it go?
It goes it goes to produce, to keep producing what we got going on as a discipline. Yes.
Well, brother, I don't. Everything goes to the British Crown. World
Right.
War One,
Look, as a discipline,
World War
right?
One, and World War Two. If your granddad or anybody fought in it, you know who they was fighting for? Great Britain.
Right.
Okay.
Right. They were
So right now,
right,
we
right.
play. Great Britain runs majority of the world. It's
Does Great
no.
Britain run you?
That's not what I'm trying to get. So,
But that's the whole point. If
brother,
you
hold
the
up.
one with the
Listen, bro.
they,
Listen, bro. If you asking me questions, I'm not asking you questions. Let's just get that understood. For this conversation can continue. I'm not asking you questions, brother. So if you're gonna ask me questions, you gotta wait for the answer. Because if you don't, you playing games with me.
all right, you a believer, right? Look, you a believer, you a man.
Hey,
Look,
brother,
if you're not ready to die for the brethren,
we gonna get back in the queue,
look,
brother, man. We appreciate
get
you
to the
coming up.
rules. You get what I'm saying?
Hey, brother, we
You gotta
appreciate
get back
you
to
coming up.
it.
Brother, we appreciate you coming up, but we gonna get back in the queue.
Get back to it, man.
Peace.
Peace. Hannah? Or Anna? CGC. Anyone there?
Going once, going twice. You're out of here.
Yeah, hi. How you doing, guys?
What's going on?
Peace.
Peace.
I just wanted to ask you, why do you have the Ethiopian kings up in the background?
Because the Ethiopian crown, throne of David, has always been in Ethiopia, East Africa, and Ethiopians don't connect biblical prophecy to that throne.
Okay, but it is connected. Have you ever been to Axum?
We know it's connected. I'm saying that Ethiopians don't agree that it's connected. They think it's in Israel.
No, I am Ethiopian. I come from Axum.
Okay, but I'm just saying, like, there's a majority of Ethiopians that we've talked to. We're not just talking about you. You know, we've talking to a lot of Ethiopians and they've disagreed. And
No, we believe there is a link with Israel.
yeah. So you believe the Israel's in the Middle East?
That's kind of.
Well, that's what we know, and what is written in the Bible. That's written in the Ge'ez as well. But the thing is, it doesn't matter. Does it really matter where it's based? It is in the Middle East to you,
Yeah.
or is the message more important?
Well, the message is always more important, but the message is also decolonizing the mind, which is the lie that Israel has been in the Middle East when it's been created. You know, Africans didn't divide Africa. It was Europeans that divided it and created names and put on to the map. And now you
Yeah.
believe Israel is in the Middle East because that was taught, you were taught that.
No, I wasn't just taught that, but at the same time, there is legends, and there's also, well, the legends are backed by facts. For example, if you go to Axum, underneath the pillars of Axum, there's roads. I have been there. I've seen it.
You
And
said
they
there's
say that
roads?
there's roads underneath the pillars of Axum.
Okay.
There's supposed to be roads that connect Axum to Israel. to the Israel that, well, like you said, that the white people have taken over and divided and stuff. But for us, the belief is it's not about white and black or anything. It's about people that are in control, that want to destroy the fact that God exists and divide black and white and everybody else. Do you understand? The
Well,
fact
yeah,
is,
we understand that's part of the tactic, but you
yeah,
still have to like deal with the truth. You know,
yeah, but
The
the
truth,
truth.
the truth ain't black and white. The truth is the truth. So,
yes, but
so right now, black people and white people are offended of the truth. So
yeah,
when you really tell the truth, Israel was created. Israel didn't exist in the 1800s.
well,
Israel was only in Ethiopia. The Bible. So all this like they created this stuff to bring separation. So we got to tear it down so we can unify. But a lot of people holding on to the lie, so they helping the lie. That's why we have
well,
to get out of Babylon and come to a new song. Now a lot of these things are. I don't see how hard it is to see, but I'm like, we all been deceived. Even the Bible say the devil deceived the whole world. So if the
well.
whole world is deceived, where's the truth? That's what Christ is for.
May I ask you something? If you really want to go in depth in that, you always have the opportunity to learn the Bible in Ge'ez because they still teach it in Ge'ez. They still have it in the churches in Ethiopia. They still have it written on goat skin so you can understand the deeper meaning and you can find out the real truth. Like, for example, next to the obelisks of Axum, there's a burial ground that British archaeologist named the tomb of the unknown king. But us as Ethiopians know it as the tomb of King Ezana, for example. Do you understand? Yes, there has been some facts that they tried to tarnish the history of Ethiopia, change the facts. But to know the deeper meaning and understand, of course, for
So
me, what I see is,
have you read it in Geese?
well, a little bit. I tried to learn it, but I didn't get perfection.
Have
But
you
I
been
have,
like have you been taught by a priest that teaches Geese or
yeah,
um
my mom's uncle. He's a priest. He reads all the time, and he's
okay,
always praying.
does he believe that Christ came 2000 years ago?
Well, you see, with our basically calendar is different. It's not like the Roman calendar what they
Yeah,
implemented.
yeah, I know. Yeah, it's like 13 months, 7 years back. So, but still, do you believe Christ came like
Yes, we do believe that he washed us of our sins, but we put ourselves back into sins. That we believe. We believe that. We believe in Saint Mary. We believe in all of the
Well, that's what
prophets
I'm
as
saying.
well.
That's what I'm saying. But that's the same thing our grandmothers believe in America, and that's how we was colonized by teaching us biblical history from the Romans. Because see, a lot of people understand colonization first starts with the mind. If I destroy your history, I can colonize you. So the whole world history has been destroyed because everybody have been taught a false biblical history. And everybody relates to the false
Well,
biblical history. That's not
well,
biblical history.
well, hang on. Let me interrupt you. But when the Romans also did exist, you have to remember, Kingdom of Axum existed as well. We were as great as they were. We were as powerful as they were. You have to remember,
That's not
Ethiopia.
either here or there, brother.
No, no,
That's
no.
not.
Wait. Let me explain something to you.
But that's not
Ethiopia.
what I'm saying.
we're not saying that there
Like,
wasn't
yeah, we're not.
we know Europeans were coming into Africa as missionaries to see what's
Yeah,
going on
but
in
in
To
Africa.
Ethiopia they
colonize it.
didn't
Like
have
that's
that
how.
chance. In Axum, for example, there's no mosques, there's no Pentecost church because it's not allowed. It's only the Orthodox Church there.
What
Look it up
you have a
until this day, basically.
There's a
So they
Roman
haven't
Catholic
really
church in
changed anything about our things or
brother,
our teachings.
there's a Catholic church in Ethiopia till this day.
Not in Axum. To this day,
But
there's
it's in
nothing in
Ethiopia
Axum.
though. It doesn't have to be in Axum. It doesn't matter. It's still in its providence.
Axum not in Ethiopia?
Well, Axum was by itself a kingdom before it joined Ethiopia and became one country, by the way. By the way, at this time, when the war was happening in Tigray and in Axum, it was Tigray by itself that it was defending itself from a lot of enemies, for example. But the enemies are your brothers, so they're not really enemies. It's people, like you said, Westerners that are trying to make us fight. You have to remember, the kingdom of Axum used to expand into Yemen. So how can you say Israel is not part of an African, like it's in the Middle East only?
We never
If the
said it was
kingdom
in
of
the
Axum
Middle
was
East. We're
all
not
the way
saying
to Yemen.
it's not in the Middle
So I want to
East.
ask you this: where was the throne of David? Or do you believe in the throne of Menelik, throne of David is the same thing? But do you believe in the throne of David?
Of course I do, but
Okay, so where was the throne of David located?
in Israel,
It wasn't. It wasn't in Ethiopia in no time. So okay, name me a king of kings that sat on the throne in Israel.
pardon?
Name me a king that sat on the throne in Israel. Because we can name, well, back then Ethiopia was mostly princes. Tedros rose up to become king of kings, and then after him followed the rest of them. But
Okay.
so,
You
but
just mentioned Menelik, right?
name me a black king in Israel that sat on the throne.
But how do you know David was not black? In
No.
our Bible, they're
Hold on, hold on, hold on,
depicted
hold
as
on.
black.
Hold on.
Jesus is even
Hold on.
depicted as black.
Listen, brother. Listen,
So we're not talking
David,
about that.
it says David
No,
and
but
David's
that's what
son.
I'm asking you.
Hold on. David's throne is more of a figure of speech for God majesty. And it's like David and his sons gonna reign forever. That's what the Bible say. It just don't say David. It say David and his sons will reign forever. So if David, we gotta scratch David out because David had kids. So David kids was gonna sit on the throne because David went in the ground. David didn't live forever. So when you talk about David's throne, you're talking about God's majesty. Now we know about kings in Ethiopia who sat on thrones, but why there ain't no historical stuff about kings who sat in Israel? Because if the so-called biblical people was there, if the so-called house of David was there, then what? We'll have historical evidence of them sitting on a throne, right?
Well,
I'm just like, this is logical, like, because I don't follow the made-up story. I don't follow what the Europeans and the colonizers taught the whole world. You see what I'm saying? Because everybody, you gotta understand, colonization started with the Jesus that everybody believed in. Like that's what colonization started at. Like if you believe in the 2,000-year-old Jesus or the Jesus that came back then, you are colonized because that's how they colonized the world.
no, that's not it. Because in our Bible, Jesus is depicted as black as well.
Okay, but it's not about
What?
him.
No, hang on.
But
Because he is depicted in the, let's say, in a color. Does it matter?
no,
Or does the
it
message
doesn't.
matter?
We're not
So,
talking about the
so
color.
wait, hang on. You're telling me about colonization. First of all, to be colonized, your mind has to be colonized, right? But
Correct.
if you know you're free, if you know you're a queen, if you know you're a king, you're descendant of kings and queens, why debate if Israel is in the Middle East or anywhere else? If you know you're free in heart, and if you know anywhere in the world is your home and you can
Bro.
make it your home, and you believe that certain people have pushed their narrative on you and made you disperse and that it's only found in Ethiopia or certain places. No. The world is your oyster. The world is yours. You have to remember that. There's no place that is nothing.
That's called Babylon, because if Menelik was living right now, Menelik could go to war if Ethiopia was like that. Because you know why? He would let the British rule.
The
So if
British
I'm a descendant,
ain't ruling though
I just want to say this.
in our country.
If I'm a descendant of a king, I'm gonna act like one and not just talk like one. It's so many people who say they so-called descendants of queens and kings, but living like peasants. Because one thing about a king has ownership. That's the first. You ain't no king if you don't own nothing. So I can say I'm a descendant of a king, but what? I'm living like a peasant. That's what we need to start saying so we can what? Stand up and take our kingship back, which is what the Bible tells you you're going to have to do. This is the whole biblical prophecy because the Bible describes the descendants of David. They was going to be led away to captivity. And see, this is why I know we're not reading the Bible. People say go read in Geese. You can read in Geese. You can read in Hebrew. You can read it in English. If God did not bless you, you're not getting it from a book. A book can never give you a blessing. And that's what the whole world caught up on. The book giving you a blessing. The Bible can't give you no blessing. The blessing comes from God. So if God can give out blessings, then how you know God ain't blessed somebody on earth? To bring you what a book can't give you, because have God ever blessed the book? Because the book show us what God blessed people, but the book never show us what God blessed the book.
But we
I
believe
ain't never
that
read
God.
that verse.
All right, hang on. The Bible may be written by prophets, but it's still the word of God. And all an Orthodox, for example, I'm Orthodox. I'm going to tell you this.
Oh shit, I know. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, you may not believe that, you may laugh, but he also said there would be a lot of false prophets. Do you understand? And at the same time, what you lot are doing right now is saying, oh yeah, it's the colonizers. We never been colonized, darling. None of us have. As Habeshas, yes, we may have been occupied for a time being, but we always fight back. Same thing for Eritrea. Same thing, because as Ethiopians, there's one thing, and as Habesha in general, we have the mental freedom to stand up for ourselves and to say what we believe in. All of us. And also you lots, as black people, should always realize that. Don't let them distort your history. This is how our history will get distorted if we stop believing in what we have.
Bro. Man, we got a whole movement going on, bro. We have a petition to return Magdala treasures so we can restore our rich history. And because we got a lot of bad history too, but we also have rich history that will make people be more passionate about life and about our place in society. We don't care about our place in society because a lot of people, we think we've been down for 2,000 years, 400
But
years.
if you don't go and see the
haven't been
place
down there.
yourself, how can you debate that? How can you say that the Bible is the one that's distorting it when there's factual evidence in Ethiopia, in Aksum, for example, in Gondar, everywhere?
Brother, slow down. I'm not debating nothing. I'm telling the truth. That's all I'm doing. People
How
debate
do
the
you know
truth.
it's the truth if you don't see and experience and learn?
You just
And
told
you're
me
not
about a
willing to
false
be
prophet.
openly, mentally open.
Brother, you just told me about a false prophet. You know what a false prophet is?
What's a
Somebody that
false
speaks on
prophet?
behalf of
Explain to me
God.
who is a false prophet.
Somebody that speaks on behalf of God, but not qualified. That's a false prophet. So you say it's going to be many false prophets in the last days, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The Bible say the battle is not yours, right? You ever heard somebody say that? The battle is not yours. It's the Lord's. You ever heard that? So
Yeah, I have.
God is going to send someone out to battle. God ain't going to send everybody because why? The battle is not yours. It's the Lord. But so many people are going out to battle for God. They ain't even qualified to fight. It's like it's a lion outside the door. You know you're not qualified to go fight no lion. You better go get you a big dog or go get you a weapon or don't go out there at all. You're not qualified. You're going to embarrass yourself. You're going to lose.
But the
So
battle
right
is not
now,
with
a
violence,
lot of
though.
people, listen to me out, brother. A lot of people are going out to fight the war that they're not qualified to fight. So their mouth should be closed. They shouldn't even be speaking. So these are the false prophets that's in the world. People are speaking for God, but not even qualified. Because you just sat here and told me I need to go learn the Bible in Geese so I can learn a real understanding. So you was asked the question, did you ever learn the Bible in Geese? You said no. So I want to ask you, do you have the understanding, the true understanding of the Bible?
I don't. I never said I never claimed that, did I? No.
So
What I said was, if you really want to learn these things and you want to see factual things, go to the place that you're saying and talking about and learn from there and
I went to
actually
God,
experience it.
and I understand, but I went to God. That's what I'm saying. God gives the blessing, not the men in Ethiopia with who teach Geese.
The devil deceived the whole world, including Ethiopia and Israel. And
Ethiopia has never been deceived, first of all. Secondly, what you lot are trying to tell me is that you are the prophets, basically, that you got in the word of God directly. And for me, I think it's
You
a
can't
bit.
believe that, huh? Guess what? They ain't believe Moses, and the Bible say they didn't believe the prophets.
But
So,
wait,
so
you're
you
quoting
correct. The
Moses
children of
and the
Israel.
Bible again, and you're still trying to dispute it. So you can't have either or.
Bible is not false. Man, the Bible is not false. Man is false. We never
Pardon?
say the scriptures are false. Your interpretations of the scripture is false. Just like how you say you don't have the understanding. You don't have the understanding. So how are you even able to compare what the truth is? When it
The
comes
only understanding that I have is if I believe in God, if I believe myself, and I believe in my Bible, and my Bible is what I learned. Maybe I'm not the best at understanding and speaking it is, but I will sit down and listen to the priest that can read it, and I will understand and try to listen. And besides, it says in the Bible, we are not the ones to be putting judgments on the priest if they misinterpret it. God is going to give them their own judgment.
and who's the one that judge?
God himself, right? No human can be a
Who
judge.
does God put in authority
No
to?
human can be a judge.
No,
Only God himself, the divine being, can be a judge.
who does God put in authority to judge?
The saints.
Only God himself, he said
The
that in the
saints.
Bible.
The saints will judge the world. The Bible says, in the Bible, it's written. I got to bite my tongue.
Which
In the
Bible are you
Bible,
reading, if I may ask you?
you want me to read it?
No, I said, which Bible are you reading, if I may ask you?
It said the Ethiopian Bible. Well, it said the Ethiopian Bible don't have the. Do it say in the Old Testament? But yeah, read the King James version.
Well, like I said, read the Ethiopian actual Bible and then debate with me.
Well, what the Ethiopian Bible tell
Or
you?
have somebody. There's a lot of people that speak, understand Ge'ez and read and write Ge'ez.
Well,
They will try
if somebody's
much
up
better
here,
than me, and I can get you someone if you want.
yeah, bring them up. We'll just read the scripture in
No,
Ge'ez and English.
well, at this moment in Ethiopia it's past midnight, but I can
I'm pretty
gladly
sure there's
send
some
you a link.
Ethiopians in here. That's what I'm saying. Like, if
Probably
there's any
some of my brothers
Ethiopian
here
that wants,
probably understand it better than me, and they can
yeah,
probably break it down for you so you can understand it. But at the same time,
Well, brother man, we not seeking understanding. I never say I need understanding of the Bible. Like they got like brother. That's why I say we have a movement. I understand the Bible. Like that's like right now. If I tell people I went to God, who was to judge me on that? You don't like. Nobody knows if God gave me anything or not because.
all right.
Well,
He
I
who
just want to
thinks
ask
he
you
knows
this.
everything
Hold on. I
doesn't
just want
know
to ask you
nothing.
this. God never sent the prophet and put it in the book first. Israel never had a book and say, "Oh, God, I know you're a prophet because your name right here in the book." They never could do that. That's why the prophets is always rejected because God show up when God want to. Like you said, God gonna judge. Well, if you understood God's spirit, this is why God had prophets. Because if God sent prophets, this is why God don't show up because you can't see God. So God sent the prophet. And you got to accept the prophet to accept God. This is the examples of the book. But what did Israel always do to the prophets? Have you ever read that in the book? Huh?
Well, if you have faith,
No.
there's
I asked you a question. You know,
what
see, man, forget the question I asked.
Prophet,
What?
prophet.
No. What I say? Have God sent the prophet? I forgot
And
my
then you
damn
see
question.
that, and then you see that, then you see God. What was I saying?
Well, no. Well, basically, what I was getting to is the Bible say, "My sheep hear my voice." The Bible also says what? Man don't live off bread alone, but every word that proceeds from the mouth of God. So God is a spirit that anoints a living vessel. Religion not teaching this. Religion is teaching you to worship books, listen to false prophets, and worship idols. But God shows up when God wants to, because God is spirit and God uses living vessels. So right now, if God sent the prophet to you, you're going to reject the prophet because the devil have blinded your eyes. To say what? God don't have power to send a regular man, but all through the Bible, God had power to send regular men and women. So what religion is doing is taking God's power away and giving you an idol. And what? You missing God. That's what the world missing God right now. Because I know God got the power to show up whenever God wants to. A book can never give me what God can give me directly. That's insane. No prophet had the Bible. No prophet.
you see,
So
God is never missing. God is always, even it says it even in the Bible, he's always here. He's always by our side. He's
no, I'm saying,
always
but what prophet had
even
a Bible? Tell me what prophet had a Bible.
what prophet had a Bible?
Yeah, it's funny, huh?
Well, it's difficult.
I
You
know it
tell
is. It's
me.
very difficult.
You tell me. No,
Shit,
because
now what?
you're saying you're quoting the Bible, right? You're reading from the Bible, and if I'm not mistaken, wasn't it written by the 12 apostles? Well,
No, man, no.
by who then?
The Bible was written by anointed men who seen visions. Like
So the whole
The Bible
Bible,
was written
right?
by actual, like the apostles didn't write the Bible. The apostles ain't even like the prophets wrote about the apostles. Like Moses wrote about the 12 tribes. Moses wrote about the 12 things. So the prophets wrote about those things. The apostles, that's why I say the Bible is a vision, brother. That's why we got up here the devil, which is simply a deceiver. A devil can be a man or woman that's teaching you lies. So everybody that's teaching the Bible, they are teaching lies.
No,
The
that's not
children
true.
of God will fulfill the Bible because the prophets wrote visions. So everything in the Bible is a vision. It got to be fulfilled. So what the children of God gonna do? They're not gonna teach the Bible. They're gonna fulfill the Bible through the actions, because actions speak what? Louder than words.
Hmm.
Yeah. So that's what's going on.
All right. If you say so, let's just agree to disagree. And thank you for having me. It was nice meeting you lots. And I hope you find God.
Likewise, brother. And check out our website, brother, if you get time. Appreciate
No
you coming up,
problem.
bro.
No problem. Thank you.
Yeah, man. That indoctrination run deep, y'all. We really have to. That's why I say, man, the meek gonna inherit the earth, because it's a time you really have to be meek. And I understand how, like I say, it's a rich generation when it comes to information. This generation is very, very rich when it comes to information, so it's very, very hard. It's even extra harder to be meek at this time. But greetings, greetings.
Hi,
Peace, peace.
how are you guys?
I'm good. We good.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not too much in English, but I am from Ethiopian, but I see you guys talking many times, but as for Ethiopian, it's too shame to for us because never colonized, but you guys tell us to, or they colonized, or they are believed by like nothing else or blah 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 blah. But as Ethiopian, you can see we have different calendar, we have different everything, and we always said never colonize because we already 100 something year already we celebrate because we fighting and we just our power still waiting. So as in African, we are Ethiopian. Mostly we say in Ethiopian because we thinking like we are different because some all of them is some is Christian, some is different culture, some is different religion, and you know already. But the beginning we are the beginning is only like Christian living, but then Muslim they coming to ask we want to living our kingdom. By that time he said okay, and we live together. That's why they Arab, mostly Arab people, they respect to us and they live with us peaceful way, not to like something fighting, not always like we kill, you know already. Now almost how many years in Libya, some Christian people they go and killed by Arabian people. That's why we are mostly sad. And we say always different from African because you can see when English queen, when she passed away, only Ethiopian lady, she said, I'm not go by bus. I want to go by my car. As respect, you have to guys respect me, otherwise send it to me, my country. Every African, they go by bus one. But only Ethiopian, she say, no, I have to respect. I never do like that. Send it to me, Ethiopian, then they respect to her. So when you guys talking to about African, you about Ethiopian, and first of all, these old people is before 100 years something. They do corona. They do like our country to support our king or something. But now generation we have our government.
Correct.
So we
So
can't say, oh,
but
they are wrong,
but
or
sis,
they are the bad one, or they are do. At least they give it to us, freedom country. So we
but
just
sis,
appreciate that one.
but sis, where did that government format come from? If Ethiopia always had
Because
kings,
that's why our king we lost it because the government he's fighting because of he make it a bad history and he tell for our people bad story. He says the kingdom is they make it people hungry, they die, they pass away, they do like this, they do like this. Then the people they thinking like they showed by drama. Then now that's why our country too much fighting because of they thinking Oromo bad, Amara bad. You know already we have 82 technique language in people Ethiopian, different food, different everything. That's why they fighting still now because of by government, because of by another problem. But as in Africa, as in Ethiopia, we can just stand in here and you listen. Oh, Africa is colonized. Africa is wrong. I mean, Ethiopia is wrong. It's not different from Africa. Like example, you guys, I know most cities in Africa.
no. We've been listening to you, but is Ethiopia not part of Africa? Because we're not separating Ethiopia from
Well,
Africa.
we say it's from mostly if you asking me, I will say I'm from Ethiopia. Excuse me, because I
So you
thinking
won't
like
say
we
you're
have
from Africa.
because
So
look
you won't say you're from Africa.
no, I will say I'm from Ethiopia because I don't use it in American calendar. Excuse me, I use it Ethiopian language. We have our fidel, our calendar, our day, our year. So how come I said I'm from Africa and I'm from different country? Because I have my own everything.
No,
That's what we
but
give.
okay.
That is our king. He give it to us.
You have a government just like the other African governments.
The same people that help you is the same people that colonized Africa. So this lets you know. Oh, so this lets you know that if you help by the colonizers, then you are a part of it. So you're just done. It's done in a different way.
Yes, because our king, they already make it good or bad. They already passed one. For us one, they give it to us freedom country. So we have to respect to us one. You guys, you coming in now, you give it to us some like a stupid thing because
Sis, you're not feeling. Sis, we've been listening to you feel like for an hour right now. The way you've been going on, sis. So you muted right now, sis. You came on here. You say you don't speak good English, but boy, you fluent. You know, well, that's the first thing she said. I'm not good English, but boy, you just immediately grab the mic and just start flowing. So, sis, what we telling you is colonization. Ethiopia is a colonized word. You wasn't even called Ethiopia in the early 1900s. You know, so when you talk about colonization, you have to understand what colonization is. And a lot of people don't, especially Ethiopia. You think colonization has everything to do with war. Colonization is all about changing your mind. So sometimes I have to fight, you know, and war with you to change your mind. Or sometimes I just gotta what? Pay your leaders off. I could pay your leaders off and they'll change your mind for me. You colonize. Point blank simple. A lot of African countries continued on with their original leaders. You know, original people was leader. But what? They being bought. You know, so the same white Jesus, the same Mary, the same doctrine, the people over here in America worship, the people in the islands worship, the people in Africa worship, and I guess since the Ethiopians are separated from Africa, y'all worship the same Jesus too. The same Jesus that they used to colonize the world. You know. So you probably still talking. Cause you ain't came off mute yet, so I'm pretty sure you still talking. So I'm probably talking to the crowd. Because like I say, this is what Ethiopians don't understand. You know, they think colonization has to do with war. You are sadly mistaken. So people want to call it, well, it's not colonization, it's neo-colonization. Man, look, I don't play them semantic with words. I'm not, you know, I don't do the wordplay. Colonization is colonization.
Right. Colonization came before neo-colonization. So, like, neo-colonization is really just infiltrating, but people still believe in their leaders. But they don't realize that their leader has been is an infiltrator. So that's really what it is. It's not still colonization. I have to bring that guy up.
Yo, what's going on?
What's up? Peace.
Yeah, Mama Dea. Yo, one thing I don't understand about some Ethiopians, bro, is how can y'all go against? And this is one thing I have to say. Like, I don't understand how y'all could, like, not you guys, but like, I don't understand how Ethiopians could go against their own kings, bro. Like, my great grandfather fought for their land. You know what I'm saying? When the Italians invaded. And I'm just one thing I just don't understand about them. How can they go against their own like line of kings, and then the lady before was trying to deny the fact that she's not even from Ethiopia. Like Ethiopia is like a separate part of like a non-thing from Africa, and that's why sometimes I think like the rumors of those Ethiopian tribes really aren't from Ethiopia. They from the Middle East. Because you hear things like that, I'd be like, oh, maybe those myths and lores, maybe that was true. Maybe they really not from Ethiopia, even though there's a lot of tribes in Ethiopia. But, you know, when you hear shit like that, it's just like, yo. And then it's crazy, bro, because then people want to say, oh, well, Haile Selassie and was wrong for doing what he did. Is people listen? If the Italians came down from the north and made a law saying that y'all can't be fed and y'all gonna turn against me and I'm the king and the ruler of this shit, I'm gonna take y'all out too. And that's the thing, motherfuckers just don't understand, bro. And it just gets me irritated, man. It really do.
Yeah, man.
Like, and why do you think the CIA put in what $1.5 billion to make sure there's not another king in Ethiopia? Why do you think they did that? They did that because spiritually, who rules Ethiopia rules all of Africa and can unite all of that. It's a spiritual, what's the word? It's like a spiritual, like.
Oh yeah, it just like I said, it's where everything came from. It's where the spirit came from. So if that energy and that thought, that manifestation came from there, of course you had to take that away because that also destroyed a lie. Because you know, like without Ethiopian king, you gonna always have a Roman Empire king. And these are the people that run the world, and they give the delusion that we don't have that. You know, but like I say, all this, we have to take the emotions out of it and understand all this was done because of what we did. It like our kingdoms wasn't taken away because we was doing and following God. Our kingdom was taken away because we was going against God.
Right,
You
right,
see what I'm
right.
saying? So we have to learn as people to get our kingdom back. We got to take our emotions and start going with principles and really
Right,
just break the curse and we receive the blessing.
right. I
You know.
feel you on that.
So
I feel you on that.
yeah, so
I
yeah,
just
man, you know, it's just a lot of uneducated people, man. That's why we on here. That's why we have to bring topics out like Ethiopia is colonized. You have to say it like that to make people realize the smart people, not everybody, because some people gonna be like, man, they'll never. But some people be like, damn, I ain't look at it like that. Damn, bro, I needed that. Those are the people
right,
you speak for.
right.
But a lot of these ignorant people who really not educated, who really
Like
not looking for the truth, they like you said, they probably but
right,
it's a lot, man. We can't let that throw us off. We gotta stand
just
strong for those who
I don't
really
know
need
if
it.
you've seen this, but just the other day, I don't know, it was on TikTok. A lot of people, it was the African news diaspora. One of the ladies, she's Ethiopian, and she was like, "Oh, I never knew African Americans and Jamaicans fought for Ethiopia when Mussolini and the Italians invaded North Ethiopia." Yeah, duh. Why do you think he gave Shamundi to the Rastafarians? I mean,
They don't know.
they don't know.
They don't
They're like, I
know.
never knew that. I never knew that. Oh my God. I'm like, yo, why do you think Jamaicans worship and love law and love the emperor? You think it's just because we just want to smoke weed and no, it's because we fought and died for the man. We died for y'all country. We went to war with Italians, the same people who going down there with the Roman Empire, the Roman Catholic Church, really, to colonize y'all and make y'all feel like, oh, we're not really African, and there doesn't need to be a throne because the spiritual I'm trying to think of that word. The spiritual what's a spiritual prophecy doesn't have to come true, but it's common sense. You haven't had a king on the throne, and since you haven't had a king on the throne, your whole country has been off.
Yeah.
Like, get it together, yo.
It just
Get it
like
together.
they not gonna get it together. It's the king and the
Until the king,
witnesses. It's the king and the witnesses to get the job done. Because they, like you said, they'll never do it. And like you say, like a lot of, especially East Africa, we gotta understand. East Africa was one of the places that fascinated the British Empire, and we all know why. You have biblical paintings, biblical writings, and we know missionaries was first sent to Africa. Missionaries are people who deal with what? Folk tales, writings, higher understanding, stuff that the common folk don't deal with. So if these writings was in Ethiopia, you gotta understand so many people have came to Ethiopia.
to learn their language,
You know,
to
and a
translate.
lot of Ethiopia has really been infiltrated and hated on. And a lot of the black men have been trying to erase from Ethiopia. This is well known fact. Just like in
Right,
America, just like everywhere, like it's always get rid of the black man to move him out, infiltrate him.
right, right.
Marry his woman. All
Right.
these things have been to dominate. And see, all this is facts, man. When you deal with nature, and see, we don't want to talk about the truth, but the truth is the truth.
The
When
truth
you
is the
start getting rid of the dominant male, you can control the children because there's no dominant seeds. This is what the prison system is for. This is what being a gangster is for. And this is what, again, taking over Ethiopia is for.
Yeah,
People
man.
understand, people gotta understand, where's the lions at? The lion is one of the most powerful animals, what? And the gorilla with a silverback. One or two most powerful animals of all Indian jungle. Where are they located?
In Africa.
No, particular East Africa. You can't find the silverback and the lion is particularly located along East Africa. So these things, like, so when you talk about dominance, this is what they have been doing. This is what in it. This is a nature instinct. Like even a hyena. If a hyena catches a lion somewhere, he gonna try to get rid of it. Why? Because it's dominant.
I have a question for you guys. Why do you think? I mean, we already know, but like, see, it's. I mean, I don't want to say too much. I hope we can just read between the lines between with each other. But would it appear to you that because it almost seems like the people that are from that lineage, it almost seems to me like they're foreign to the history that was. Does that make sense? Like, and it's also like it's like I just don't understand. Like, I just can't wrap my head around it. It's like it's worse than African Americans in America, almost. Like,
Are you talking about the Ethiopians today?
We're
Like,
foreign to what we talking about.
yeah, like Ethiopians today.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
if I go over to Ethiopia and be like, "Yo, Haile Selassie is like I like him," or if I have a show, they're gonna curse me out. You know that, right?
Well, yeah, because you got so many people, so much
You know
happening.
that, right? Like,
Yeah, so much
crazy.
happening. It was a lot going. You gotta understand, we know more than the average person because we have the information layered. Back then, stuff was going on. It's like right now, people live in America, but they got stuff going on in politics that people don't know nothing about. Now, later on down the line, when somebody write a story about it, people gonna know about it. But right now, people don't know what the hell going on because nobody is really bringing them the information. So back then, wasn't nobody bringing them information. The devil just losing stuff, and then they might hear in the wind, "Oh, it's the king. Well, we got a king. Why he ain't done nothing?" And point the finger. But it's a lot of stuff before Haile Selassie got on the throne. Shit, man, so much stuff went on, man, and that's why you got to understand.
Right. There was
like Haile Selassie. Like she was on the throne, and Haile Selassie was more like under her. Haile Selassie was the one that spoke for her.
right. It was really the throne was supposed to go to
She mysteriously passed away. Her husband.
He was supposed yeah.
So
I forgot his name, but there was some tension between him and Haile Selassie.
Correct.
I think because he was supposed to get the throne, but I don't know what had happened, and then Haile Selassie.
He just didn't like the decisions he was making for her.
Yeah. Something like that. There was a little beef or a little uproar, but yeah. And then
so it's a lot of history that go into Haile Selassie, So again, it's hard to say because when you put in situations, you can't say what you wouldn't do. It's hard to say what you wouldn't do, but you can say what you wouldn't stand for as a man, and everybody probably wouldn't stand on that. But Haile Selassie was put in a lot of positions, man. So I don't really praise him, especially as Rastafarians do, because like I say, I wouldn't say again he did have some things, but a lot of questions.
I can't blame him. See, I'm Rastafari. I can't really blame the man. Like you say, he was put in some positions. Listen, I understand you're supposed to protect your own people. I get that. But if my own people put me in a predicament where y'all turn on me for some rival, what am I supposed to do? Because they make laws saying that farming is illegal if you wasn't it a law during the war, like if you were an Ethiopian farmer at the time, if you were caught feeding the Italian troops or something like that, that was against the law. And then something along those lines where that was illegal. But in fact, in doing that, since you can't sell food, you starve because you don't have no. What do you want me to do with that? Like, what do you expect me to do? I mean, what do you expect? Also, too, really, what do you expect his people to do too? And if you want to look at it from two perspectives, but it's like, bro, like we're going to war. Like, what are y'all doing? Like,
But I think the part with Rastafarians is that you guys start to idolize and make Haile Selassie a deity, as if he's coming back as the second coming of Jesus. When the original Christianity is that God is the one who chooses the Son of Man. It's not the mankind who chooses.
Right. You have some
So
that
there's going to be a king after Haile Selassie, but a lot of Rastafarians are so stuck on Haile Selassie they can't see what's going on in their time.
I agree with you on that one. I agree with you. I think really I think what it is that, in my culture, I think we're so stuck on the loyalship, the war, the kinship, Marcus Garvey doing so much, and and there hasn't, and I agree with you. Like, listen, if you keep looking in the past of what could have been, you can never have a future of what can be. And I agree with you there with Rastafarians, but I think what also is misguided too is just that the Rastafarians also, they don't necessarily worship. I mean, they worship him, but they worship the fact that in the Bible um he is a descendant of Sheba and King Malik. So I think in that sense, um that's why he's such a worshipped figure in our culture, because it's like,
Hey,
yo, there was
Menelik was. You got other people.
Tedros.
You got other people was too. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't just pick. Like, when you pick a person, that become an idol.
I
That's what I'm
feel you,
saying.
but
You can't respect Haile
we went
Selassie.
to
You can't
war for
respect Haile
this man.
Selassie.
You get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying, but you can respect Haile Selassie like you respect all the rest of the king. What about Tedros?
Did they
Tedros,
come to Jamaica?
for one
Did they
thing,
come to Jamaica?
Tedros fought harder more than Haile Selassie.
But did they come to Jamaica?
What they
No,
did? That's a different.
they
It
did.
don't,
But that's what I'm saying.
brother.
That's the
I'm
point I'm
saying you
That's
trying
a
to
can't
make.
different
measure.
time. Like you
Haile Selassie is the only
Right.
king that came to America. He's the only king that sat on King David's throne that came to America. Because you know why? It was traveling more then.
Right, because there's more inventions
Yeah,
and stuff.
it was more traveling. So back then it wasn't that much traveling. Shit,
But that's what
you
I mean,
gotta
though.
have steamboats. The steamboats enable really, people to really start traveling. Because a king not just finna get on the waters and hope on the wind to sail. And so a king ain't going through all that.
Right.
Like, come on.
there's
Nah.
people for that.
Yeah, why would I risk my life to go in that water? So a lot of people didn't travel like that. Like, that's why you had pirates. You see what I'm saying? You had those people. Like, I got somebody, I sent him. I'm not going as a king. So somebody coming to Haile Selassie, that shouldn't raise somebody's status up. That's an idol. My idol came to see me, so I love him. No, man, I got respect for Haile Selassie.
I mean, when he went to Harlem too, the African Americans in Harlem went AWire over him too.
Yeah, but brother, they went.
Zatu?
Listen, they went haywire when Zatu sent messengers over here. Because they had never seen black people and white people respecting them. Black people have never seen that in America. They ain't never seen a black man all white on and white folks just bowing and
Yeah, that's
They
true.
never seen that.
They never heard a white man be like, "Hey, Your Excellency."
Yeah, Your Majesty and all that. So
Your Majesty.
that was what all about. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
something
you're right.
to be all
You're
about.
right. Yeah, no,
But
you're
like I
right.
said, that don't require worship, but that just shows you, man. It's a certain level of teaching we gotta really bring to the earth, and that's what we on here for. We gotta bring that truth teaching again, not to take away from nothing, but bring the reality to it. And like you said, you can't have a future if you're always looking in the past, and that's the most important thing we here to show, the future, because God don't die, God don't go in the ground. So just as God, and then the Bible talk about the descendants of David, not just one descendant. So if anybody leave from the descendant, David got another descendant. Haile Selassie not the only descendant of David.
Yeah, but
So if David still got descendants, well, God still got vessels.
right, I hear you on that, but
That's all we
again,
bring.
my before I leave you guys and blessings and all that, but I'm just saying the only reason why, like I said, the Rastas is because of the Marcus Garvey situation, bringing Rastafarian from Ethiopia to Jamaica, and then the fact that the war happened in a time where, like you said, black people wasn't looked at like that until Haile Selassie was doing his tour coming over here. But I do agree with you. Before I part, I do agree with you that the Rastafarians keep looking to the past, but I also think it's also a little misguided. I mean, if you guys, I think it's true. You shouldn't be idolizing a man, especially a dead man. But I think they're just in, and it sounds like I'm
Hold on, he
making.
dead? Hold on, Rastafari don't say he dead now.
Nah, he's
Oh, you're
well,
Rastafari?
yeah. We in reality. Or we not?
I'm telling
We need
you, bro. I
reality.
heard some Rastafari say, "Hey, man,
Long, yeah, long live the emperor. Yeah, man, Medea.
Hey,
Yeah,
well,
man.
I got respect for that, man. Yeah, you sound a little more, you sound like a little more Rastafari. I kind of hang with.
Right. Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
I
But
can hang with you, bro. But they treat him like Jesus. I say, shit,
nah,
y'all might well just start calling on Jesus.
no, I know. I get into arguments. I say the same, bro. Listen, I say the same thing too, man. I'd be like, listen. My grandfather fought in Italy, and died over there for the, you know what I'm saying. So I understand that, but I just be like, bro, like it's over. Like not over, but like we gotta move. Like I'll be, in my Jamaican community, we have deep convos, and I just be like, yo, it's time to move forward. They don't want to hear it, so you know what I'm saying. I feel you. But all right, peace and blessings to y'all, man. Have a good night.
All right, brother. Salute to you. Peace. Yeah, shit. That's about the first logical Rastafari I think I done talked to. I'm trying to. No, I think
One or two.
I think the brother on the belt line. When I talked to that time, he was real cool. He wasn't really in no la la land with. He was more. Like people think we be disrespecting. It's not. We're not up here to disrespect people. The truth is a little disrespectful. That's why it hurts. But it's decency. What's going on? Peace.
Not too much. Peace. I commend what you guys are doing. I see what you're trying to do, trying to bring everybody together, man. I appreciate it because growing up, I come up out of the 70s. I don't know when you come up, but I come from the 70s, and
Okay.
there wasn't a big teaching there because they still had us separated. And I think the more we come together, if we can come together, but even Jesus got mad at his disciples because they wouldn't listen to him, you know what I mean? So I'm trying to go back to that, when he tells Lazarus they wouldn't even listen to him about what he was trying to teach them, So it's a blessing getting on here because I'm trying to go through TikTok. I'm older now. I'm trying to get through TikTok and learn from different people, and see what's going on throughout the different communities and how and you two are the most calmest people I've came across so far. So that's really respectful in my heart because I truly want to learn this because I truly know if we come together, they're done. You know what I mean? So. But really, the question is I've tried to end a couple corporations myself and what they've done, incorporating us and separating us two at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Is your end goal to end up at the Vatican with the paperwork that you're talking about? You've been wanting to do and stuff like that because the high priest is the one that's made all of the decisions to make this all happen, and we'll have to get the Vatican's approval, so to speak, if we can get it done, and I'd be all aboard with that because I'm tired of the infighting because man, I mean, we just people. We was born into this stuff, and it's a nasty war. We've been born into, and I don't like it.
Okay. Well, yeah, that definitely, like I say, the saints gonna judge the world, and judgment is simply correction. The world need correction. And that's what we simply bringing. But yeah, we definitely taking it to the Vatican. Those are the people that really in control of majority of the stuff we are under. So yeah, that's where we headed, man. That's
For
definitely
sure.
where we headed. And if you want to reach out to us, that's our website. We do have calls on Mondays. Where you come in there, ask your questions, and get a little more familiar about what we're doing. We do have a biblical counsel that we share and enlighten people about where we go over scriptures. And like I say, just talk about anything, outside of TikTok where you get a little more intimate with a lot of the people, who have been a part of this mission and, helping us fight and helping us spread this good news all over the world.
Because to me, we're just stuck. To me, and I don't know. I'm not right. I'm usually not right sometimes, but to me, we just stuck under the Moses curse. I mean, I still think we're stuck under the Moses curse. As far as the plagues, and I think us hating each other is a plague. You know what I mean? I just think we're stuck in that Moses curse. So, but
you're right. Yeah, you're definitely right. That's why it says, but when people read Deuteronomy 28, they don't understand how we got in the curse because it simply says we disobeyed the voice. The curse get lifted when we obey the voice, and that voice again, will simply be living vessels that's speaking for God, who God have touched. Because a lot of people, well, most majority of the people are only speaking from the book. Anybody can pick up the book and speak from the book. That don't clarify you from God. So now at these times, God has separated people. That's why I said don't be of the world. Because so a lot of people, that's why we have this title up here. A
Right.
lot of people are teaching the Bible, but those who God have touched, they are fulfilling the Bible. The fulfillment of the Bible brings us the blessing of God. The teaching of the Bible brings us the curse of God.
Yes, sir.
And I,
Yes, sir.
I know that might be a little heavy for people to hold on to, but that's that bitter truth that might be sour, but it's sweet.
Well, I started an organization back in 2017. It's called For the Children. I kind of doing what you guys doing, but I was just trying to protect our children, man, because I see what they're doing to our children. And I see a guy keep asking on here about, go to UCC one. I'll never go. I don't want to turn this political, but to him, I will say UCC one starts with your soul, and I'm not talking about your soul inside until a little later on. But your soul starts with your footprint at the hospital when you're born, and then they send that over to the Vatican to turn it into your soul. So there's two souls. So I won't turn it into a political thing, but I very much understand UCC one. So we all just people, and I wish you two the best of luck, because you up here really trying to teach in a calm manner, and you don't find that too much, so um, I really do appreciate it, and I really just wanted to kind of know what your end game is. Is it the Vatican? Is it where is it? Because I'm with you, man. If I can, I think that's just the only way we're gonna get it done, is if we come together.
But yeah, that's what I say. My goal is the Vatican. It's the Vatican, the Roman Catholic Church, the British Empire. It's
Yes, sir.
all one and the same. And like I said, we going to correct them.
It's like the International Court of Justice.
Well, while I'm on here with you, if you do me a favor, if you could write this down or something, because we are kind of dealing with them, because we've already turned in 13,000 affidavits to do this, okay? And it is sitting in the Supreme Court right now. It's called the Brunson case, and it's to take care of the UCCs and the commerce and stuff that they've created on selling us through the birth certificate and all that stuff. We really already started on that. So if that's anything that you could look at to go off of and to continue and maybe to add to, I just kind of want to let you know that too. So
Okay.
and it is called the Brunson case, and we understand what they've done too. And I thought our generation had all this stuff smashed, because we all played sports together, we all played ball together, So, but obviously, when I get on TikTok, it's not smashed. So, not a lot of people welcome me in groups like this. So I appreciate you welcoming me and letting me talk to you a little bit, and and your audience. I mean, you got a pretty good audience in here, so. And that tells me you're doing the right thing and doing good, and people are interested in what you two have to say. So I commend that.
All right, yeah, we're definitely gonna look into it, brother. We're definitely gonna look into it. We gave you a follow. Where you calling from? You in America?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I'm in Indiana. So
Okay.
I don't know. You from America too?
Yeah, I'm in America. I'm in Atlanta.
Okay, good. I followed you. There's a lot to this, okay, because of the contracts, and you know that. You know that. I know you know that. You're a smart man, so you're a smart gentleman. So it's we're in the battle, but if everything we got that we could add to it to dissolve this court, and it's a worldwide court, and it's like you said, it's over in British, it's over there at the Vatican, it's over. So anything that, people don't even know about their minor estate. And that goes.
We don't know nothing about being bonded to the things we're bonded to. And that's why I say we're going to be bond men and bond women. So we bonded to this until, again, we have to take our power back. And like you said, it starts with us unifying. Because when we unify, that means we have awakened. Until you unify, you're not awakened.
Exactly.
So the awakening starts with unification. Now, the British Empire, the powers that be, they know all these things. Because it's already foretold in prophecy. So they know what to look for. But nothing can happen without God intervening. You know, now it's a lot of stuff, man. I wish to speed up tomorrow, but
Oh
without the
man.
right people in place, we cannot tear down something that's also helping people. Because once this is tore down, something has to be put back in place, something better. You know,
It,
so all those people have to be prepared when this fall, because it's gonna fall. It's on its way. They know it. You know, that's why I say it's not gonna really be a fight. But the most important thing is getting the people who gonna be qualified that when it fall, they can take their positions. That's the most important thing right now.
yes, for sure. Because, and yes, there is a military operation going on worldwide. It's called Space Force. So your audience is asking questions. So I mean, I didn't think you've seen that, but I got a lot of military buddies. I'm too old for that stuff now. So, but you know, I did follow you because I enjoy talking to you. I got a little bit of Indian in me, you know. I got a little bit of everything in me, I think. But what mostly I got is love and love for the people. So I want to fix this for our children, and I can't help it. I can't stop it. I can't stop. I work on this every day with somebody. I help families with their children every day throughout the United States in the court proceedings because the courts ain't real. You know, they're not real, so they're just not real. So, and people trying to get people to understand that simple fact right there is just been almost impossible. But I think we're there,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah, you gotta. That's why, man. You know, the job has got to be done, and people believe it. You know, that's why the workers is very important for the workers to come together to support one another to help get that job done. Because it's all about building a new kingdom. You know, and if you know anything about building, it take workers. It definitely take help when you're building something, especially a kingdom this big. You know, so
right,
it's just very important for the workers to really stay focused and support one another so the job can get done. The people will never understand. They'll only support. It's like the game. A lot of people can't understand the game, but they know who wins.
right. At the end,
They know who wins.
the
So
Most High gonna
the
win. He's
players,
gonna
yeah.
win.
So it's about the players, not the commentators, because a lot of people who playing, they get caught up with what the commentators is saying. You know, we have to focus on playing the game, and I don't mean playing the game as it's a joke, but I mean staying focused and doing the work and building.
Right.
And we gonna be good.
And when you say that, people think that you want to do this in like we peaceful people, man. That's just what we are. I mean, I am anyway. So I want to get this done in the most peaceful way. So
Yeah, that's why it's going to court. If we would,
it's
we'll be in the streets with weapons in our hands. You know, if it wasn't peaceful, but we not there. That's why we put in paperwork and we fight with the pen in on our tongue. That's the
right.
spiritual war.
That's the
Fight
sharpest weapon you got, though.
pen.
That he tells us that's the sharpest weapon we got.
Sharpest thing known to man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And peace to both of you and your bravery and showing your faces and everything and doing all that stuff because that takes a lot of courage and honestly, I appreciate you, sir, and I appreciate you, young lady, ma'am, and I hope we can get this done. I hope we can come together and get this done. But please look up that Brunson case because if there's anything that we could add to this and it could just be another link to the process, you know what I mean, and help guide you through, you know.
Okay. Like I said, we'll definitely check it out, man. We'll definitely check it out.
So peace to you, brother. We'll
Thank
definitely
you,
check out the information. Peace.
thank you for having me up.
All right, brother. Peace. Oh, we can take one more, y'all. So what time you got on here? 10 o'clock. Give y'all a good 3 hours and get on out. Get on out now.
Hi, you guys added me at the very wrong time. I wanted to actually ask Mr. Robert something. I kept asking that I get added before he leaves. This is what I wanted to ask. He was talking about unity. So I wanted to say I think a lot of people are open to unity, but how do we then unite when we're both not seeing each other in a positive light? For example, it's a very known thing that people of color, black people and white people, just have their own issues. Whites find black people superior in a way that scares them, but the black people find them superior in a way that makes them feel less confident. So I wanted to understand, how do we then unite in a state of mind where we know that they demean who we are only because they can't compliment it in a nicer way, to say, you know what, I love how you look, but would rather make it seem like it's an insecurity, you know, because they are scared that maybe if you get too confident, you might be able to do so many things with your life. There's that. And then there's also the point that they don't treat other people nicely. I have friends who are living in Ireland right now, black friends. They are Africans. Yeah, they get mistreated all the time. Even today, like, we're in modern times, but white people are still, or Caucasians are still mistreating black people, and they speak of unity. So it's sad to hear such things. It's like, okay, but then how do we unite when you are the very same people who treat us like dogs? When we are in your what is it called again? Your territories. When they are here, we don't treat them like anything else but the same. When people come to Africa, I'm not speaking for all Africans. Maybe yes, there are those who may misbehave, because not everyone is perfect. But we treat them with care, like we are the same, because we are the same. Color doesn't really change anything, but DNA does. We don't have the same DNA, yes, but we're people at the end of the day. So we accept that. But for some
I
reason,
think
for Caucasians to treat black people right is a problem.
what's what I'm saying. Like I think because, like I say, we're not in position. We are not in control of things. So we get the second hand of the stick. Because the same way that white folks treat us is the same way that black people treat us too. So that's what I'm saying. Like, and all white folks don't treat us bad. You know, so but we can't do nothing about it because we don't have no position of power in the world right now. And I think
See,
we have to.
that is the mindset we obviously. Oh, sorry.
No,
Oh, you
no,
can
I
finish,
was just
Miss
saying,
Cool.
like, without power, we can't do nothing about it. Like when something happened to a black man in America, we don't run America. We're not in position in America. When something happened to a black person in Africa, we don't run Africa. They run Africa, they run America, they run the island. So because they are in power and we have no power, we can't do nothing about what anybody do to us. And that's why I say so the same, but we have to look at it from a higher level. Because the same way that white folks treat us, we treat each other the same way. Because right now it's a bunch of black people who don't like black people. You know, and it's on another level. You just heard the woman who Ethiopian say, I'm not African, I'm Ethiopian. I'm like, damn, what? Like you really separated from Africa? You really that? So we gotta look at it from that level. So what we have to fix is our mind. So just imagine if all white folks saw black people loving themselves.
True. I was actually
And
about to bring that up. So yeah, they
it's little
actually
things
treat
like
us
that.
even worse because we don't treat each other right.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, we don't. Like I said, but that don't give white people a pass to do us wrong because they have treated us wrong. They know this, but at the same time, it's a lot of inner work that we have to do to fix our problems. And if we fix our problems, white folks will leave us alone. I promise you. I promise you, white folks will leave us alone if we fix our problem. The only way white folks start messing with us is because we was messing up. Like that's the real story. The reason why we started getting bothered by white folks because we was messing up. And this is in the Bible. You know, so this is what we not taught. You know, we always taught to point the finger when it's really accountability because we can fix it. We can fix all our problems, but we are not fixing our problem. We just keep pointing the finger. You know, but if we start fixing our problems, all nations gonna support us. Just like all nations take from us, all nations take from black people right now. So imagine if black people get their stuff together. All nations gonna support us. They got to. You know, but like I say, we just ain't got our stuff together. So when we get our stuff together, that same support gonna come. But it's just gonna benefit us. See, everything right now just benefit other nations because we ain't got nothing together. But once we get it together, it's gonna benefit us. So the tables will turn. But like I say, that starts with us. We turn the tables. We don't point the finger, we turn the tables. And that's what we have to do as a people, especially the leaders of the people. Because a lot of our people are not going to do this. A lot of them don't even agree with us. So.
True. Honestly, it's a matter of, which is why I said the problem stems from the fact that the black race is not confident within itself, so it feels inferior to the white man. And so he sees that as a gap to fill and take advantage of what they can. So if we were more confident in who we are and not feeling the need to adopt cultures that are not rooted in who we are, we wouldn't be having these kind of issues. But the problem is we only feel like we are superior when we are associated to the Caucasian race, when we are associated to their cultures and their traditions. Like you just said, someone was separating who they are at large to say who they are as an ethnicity group. That will show you that that is the problem we're dealing with. People who are not confident in who they are. I am a proud African, and I will never say I am not an African just because I feel like being Caucasian is better. Really, there's nothing like that. Everyone is better in their own way. It's just how you deal with life. For example, I don't think the unity thing, like you said, would want a whole leadership to rise. It actually starts with an individual. The reason I was asking that Mr. Robert could stay a bit to hear this is because I wanted to ask that, as he said he was doing something about it, is he at least teaching his white community to be more considerate, to be more compassionate towards other people, not just the black race, but other people, because besides what we obviously see on television, which most times could also not be the full truth, it is actually what's still happening, what we see. So if he is really doing something actively to fix what he claims is affecting our children as the people who are going to be leaving and leaving other people behind, then he should be educating his community about how they treat other people. Because in other instances, you see that even when there's those Caucasians who mistreat others, the ones who are good never say anything. They never really pitch in to say, oh, don't do that, or that's not okay. When they say, oh, no, but you saw that this person had their hands on me first. Do you feel what I'm saying? And then it's like, no, but don't do that. They don't say that to each other. How do you then expect that communities change? I hear that you say we don't have power, but maybe that's how you feel. I believe I have the power to change anything in the world. And I believe that every individual has the power to change anything in the world. It is solely reliant on how you go about things. Well, yeah. If you obviously look at what offends the people in power, you may try to maneuver through that in a way that you are teaching something to get more people to get with your story. Because the more people agree on the same thing, the greater the energy. And we're talking about spirituality, right? We're talking about how we want to fight a spiritual war. Then we should increase more in energy as people who talk about these things. Because you spoke about the Bible. I don't like referring to the Bible. I like to talk about reality. But for now, for the argument's sake, I will reference the 144,000 souls, right? If we are actually to take that into context and really try and bring something to life and do a revolutionary, why don't we at least try to influence 144,000 people across the world to do the same thing? Whether is it meditating, whether is it preaching, but something that is along the lines of a high vibrational order. That is something that will shift massively the impact in the world, because we're speaking about energy. These people that we say they control the world, they don't have any control. They're not God. But they do have what's called our energy. They siphon our energy because we constantly watch things. We constantly listen to things.
Sis, you have to listen to what you just said. You said they have your energy, but they don't control anything. How can they have your energy but not control you? So they do control.
Let me explain it. No, they don't. I'm just trying to explain something. When you say they control, you make it sound like they are a deity or they have some power that you as an individual you don't. So I'm trying to highlight that the only reason it may seem as if they have power is because they siphon our energies. Well, not mine, because I don't pay attention to some of these things anymore and I don't give them mind. And I see that they only affect certain parts of the world and not everybody else. Like, for example, your reality in the US is not my reality here in Africa. I'm not pushed around by no president, even if when my president has a say per se, but no one is being pushed around like that in
we
terms
not
of
being
spirituality.
we not being pushed around like that either. I mean, you're being
Well, I was
pushed
just
around.
saying in
You're being
terms of spirituality,
but Ethiopians are
I
still
would be,
pushed around by their own president, by their prime minister or whatever they have in order. You guys don't control the government in Ethiopia. You don't have that
I'm
authority.
not from Ethiopia. I don't even know what's going on there.
Or where are you from?
I'm from Botswana. Here we don't operate like any other countries
Say again, where you
operating that
from?
you're speaking of.
Where you from?
I'm from Botswana.
And
Botswana.
does it have a president?
Every country in Africa has a president. I'd like
Okay,
to
so
believe
that's
so.
a
Yes,
that's
we have a
that's
president.
so that's someone that's in control of the government. That's in control of food. That's in
The,
control of health care. That's in control of child care.
they are
Not
not in control. They influence. There's a difference. If you can have we can get our own farms here. We buy land. We can farm our own fruits and vegetables in our farms. We are not like, I mean, I do believe in the US it's more challenging to get such things as an individual. Here it's not. So clearly our president is not controlling everything. They influence decisions. That is what's going on in our country. We are not controlled.
but
We are influenced. So, which is why I say in the US, you guys are influenced in a different way, in a different manner. We watch your politics, yes, but we would like to hear it from even you guys, to let us know what is really going on there. Because for the most part, this war seems to be an American thing and other parts of the world. We struggle more to fight for rights, to be able to speak out against gender-based violences, to speak against violation of human rights. Those are the things we're fighting here, but not necessarily spirituality. Let me give an example. There's this other show called Baddies. It stems from the US. It seems like it's an entertainment thing for American people. But, for me as an African back home, when I look at this, it's demeaning to watch women beat each other up, insult each other. But for you Americans, you consider that what is it called, entertainment. That clearly shows the state of mind of many people in the US, that it is in a low vibrational space, and that is influenced heavy by what? Your government, because they are the ones who are allowing all these things to be thrown in your face so that you guys can be in a state of mind.
You're talking to the wrong choir, because we're the ones who's here to judge them. We're the ones who's putting in the work
I'm
to
not
judge them. So we
judging.
don't agree. We
I'm
don't
not
agree with the
judging.
image that you see in America. We
Shit,
obviously know.
A lot of Africans dressing like Americans.
Yeah, we already know that it's been
No, I'm not. Maybe that's where we're misunderstanding each other. I was not judging or saying that you guys agree with the motive. I was actually just saying, just to bring something in light that I've observed in terms of speaking of low vibration, since we're speaking about the influence of what the government does to other people.
So would you say low vibration is also working with the people who colonize your own country, and you still have leaders that still
We are
run
not colonized by the Americans. We were not colonized by the
You're
US.
colonized by the French, by the British, by the
We were not
Berlin.
colonized by the French. We are colonized by the British colony, not
Okay,
French, not
the British
US.
colony. The British colony has a lot of control over a lot of African countries today.
True.
Okay.
Control maybe, but with us they have influence. Like I say, I keep using words that don't keep us boxed or imprisoned. We are not controlled, we are influenced.
Influence also means control, because the influence controls
It
the
does
mind,
not mean
and
control.
then it
Control
controls.
means I have no say at all. I have no will. I have no freedom. I have no liberation. But when you say influence, you are saying you are the one that is putting words into my head, even when I have my own way of thinking. one, like I keep saying, you need to really understand it in depth. As a person who grows up being programmed to watch certain things, they're called programs for a reason. So it means someone is programming me. They are
All
influencing
right,
me
so
in
okay,
a
so
way,
sis,
not controlling.
we're not being programmed because we're focusing on what we need to do when it comes to Africa and fighting for Africa. What are you doing when it comes to fighting for
You guys
Africa?
are fighting for Africa. You
Yeah.
guys
Correct.
are fighting for Africa.
Correct.
Why are you guys fighting for Africa and not fighting for the US?
Because we African Americans, we was brought here from Africa, so we gonna be coming back home. So we fighting for what's
I
our.
don't believe everyone from the
You're right,
Americans
and
is
we
from
didn't say everybody.
the
We didn't say
Africans. I feel
everybody.
like I personally
Sis,
I
sis, we didn't
personally
say
feel like
everybody.
you guys lost your identity.
But
I feel
sis,
like you guys lost your identity, and so they're trying to draw you back to African.
Sis, you just talked
African
about
Americans, there's no such
all
thing. There could
just
be
talked
some
about
who came from
unity.
this side, yes,
Sis,
but
you
not
just talked
everyone.
about sis, you just talked about unity. I didn't say everybody, I said us. So I didn't say everybody, I said we. So
Oh,
you
you two
included
are
everybody.
African Americans who
Sis.
came from
You
Africa.
included
That's what you're
everybody.
saying.
You included everybody. And you just talked about unity. So Africans don't want to unify with Americans? So-called Americans?
No, that's not what I said. Have you actually seen? Okay, the other lives, fine. Have you watched the other lives and tried to understand
We're
that
not focused on
even
the
when
other
Africans and
lives.
Americans,
Lies.
We're not.
I'm not saying focus on the other lives. You do look at other things, of course, to weigh your judgment. You don't just wake up and say, I'm
A
against
lot of
people, right? I've been on other, I'm just saying, I've been on other lives, right? Trying to actually understand what is going on that side. And there were Americans who were trying to understand what is going on here in Africa, right? And we both don't have the same perspectives. This is why I say it would be better. I'm not saying we don't want to unite. And I'm also not speaking for the rest of Africa. I'm speaking for myself. And I'm saying I don't think it's a matter of Americans fighting for the Africans. They should fight for themselves. We all have our own wars. You feel me? I
No,
just brought
we don't
something
do
to
that.
light that is still in
We
control
don't do that.
of a lot of people there. Wawan. There's a lot of
So are
people
you saying?
there
Are you saying
who
the
are
deep?
being under who are under the influence of what they are watching and listening to. You spoke about Africans dressing like Americans. It's because we watch shows
Okay,
that
okay, but
show
sis,
us what
are you
Americans are
saying?
dressing. It's not even an inferiority complexity thing.
But are you saying that the foundation of the problem is not connected to Africans and African Americans?
No, it's not.
We don't
No,
have.
you need to
We don't have the
understand. You
same.
need to understand not every slave that was in the Americans or whatever is from Africa. Some people were that's why you have Native Americans, right? There are people who were actually black in the US at that time, who were naturally black from the US, not even
Sis,
from the
sis,
Africans.
sis,
Even
sis,
Chinese,
sis,
Asians have their own
sis,
black people who were there.
sis,
Blackness is just a matter of melanin. It's nothing that is rocket science.
sis.
What's sus?
When you talking about the
What were
African
you
king,
saying?
when you talking about the African king, the African prophecy,
The African what?
the African prophecy, which is the Bible prophecy. Do you? I know you say you probably don't deal with that. So what we are doing, we're restoring the throne back in Africa to give, because Africa is the motherland when it comes to resources. That's why the
When it comes to
European
what?
is the motherland when it comes to resources. This is why the
So it's
European,
the motherland because of resources.
well, you could say whatever, first people, whatever, it's the motherland. Africa has a lot to offer to the world. This is why the European.
Exactly why everyone wants to be
Can you
African and
slow
come
down?
from
You
Africa,
got to
because
slow down.
Africa has everything.
Sis,
So everyone wants to drain the Africans. That's clearly what you're saying.
So you don't have to tell
we
me what I'm
don't need
saying.
a black man.
She gonna tell me what I'm saying. She gonna take my words out my mouth, put them in her mouth, and tell me. Come on now, so we have to mute you. So it's like that's not what I'm trying. I was trying to make a statement. You know, I don't know you. I don't know you in your teaching mode, but I was making a statement to show you why Africa is the motherland. That's why we invested in Africa. Just like the Chinese man is investing in Africa. Just like the European man is investing in Africa. He's not African.
But African Americans,
You
they
know,
can't.
but African Americans don't need to worry about Africa. We need to worry about America. See, that's we don't understand what's going on. You know, like it's so much Africa has to offer, but Africa not getting no benefits from it. Who run the chocolate business? The Europeans. You know where chocolate come from? Majority of the chocolate come from Africa. Africa don't benefit off chocolate. Chocolate is a billion dollar industry.
Oh, are we coming home?
So if chocolate is a billion dollar industry and Africa only getting like 20 to 30%, while the Europeans are getting 70 and 80. So this is stuff that we can change. And that's just chocolate. We're not talking about all the rest of the stuff we can go on and on about. So if we bring the throne back, this will heal Africa and also the world. So this is what we're doing. This is why Africa is important. So Africa is the first fight. World War I, World War II was about taking control of Africa. That's what the World War was about. America and black people was involved in fighting those wars. Matter of fact, the world was involved in fighting these wars. So Africa plays a big part in the revolution that a lot of people don't understand how it's going to even happen. So the revolution starts with Africa. America is just small when it comes to this war that we in. So, do you have any other questions for us, sis? I think she must have walked out. So, do you have any other questions for us?
All right, peace, sis.
But I don't think, man, because it's you want to do 1 o'clock?
Just do one. That's it.
Yeah.
It's our last verse.
Because man, people get caught up on everybody knows. Everybody knows. That's just what everybody knows. I guess
Peace to you,
Peace.
Gus.
I can't say that name.
Candace.
Candace, okay. Peace to you.
Yeah, I just listened like lately, and then she's from our sister. She speak before me. She's from Botswana. I don't know. Maybe you guys, better listen to her. She's teaching you about Africa. I think you guys are born in US, or maybe the ancestor is from African ancestor. But the reality is she's telling you. That's the reality. Do you understand?
Well, the thing about it, I didn't ask her because I already know the reality. I'm not
And
you gotta understand, brother. Like we talk to a lot of Africans, so we wasn't looking for the reality. We have a movement. We not like if we came up here to get taught, we'll say, hey, somebody come up and teach us. You see what I'm saying? Like hold on,
yes.
Listen. When somebody force something on you when you're not asking for it, that ain't right. You don't force them on somebody. We're not asking for the reality. We know the reality. Why you think we're here trying to help Africa? Because we ain't got the reality down. Oh, we just totally lost. So no, we come up here with a movement, man. So if anybody gonna push something down our throat, that's really a waste of our time. Now, if we get into a conversation, we ask you because you are in Africa. I'm not. So you of course you gonna have a little more insight than me. But that don't mean I don't understand the reality because I done talked to many Africans. Shit, there's Africans over here in America. So we got the insight. So we need the boots on ground and those who gonna put in actions. Because we gonna build a whole bunch of schools. And whoever wanna be a teacher, we'll be hiring. So you can teach to the sun up to the sun down. But right now, man, it's a movement that has to be done.
And there's a lot of African American information that Africans don't understand on when it comes to colonization.
Yeah, look.
So this information that we have and you have go hand in hand. It's no different.
I got you. I understand now. But me, I'm originally from Ethiopia. I was born in Addis, in the capital. I mean, we know the colonized in indirect way. Maybe I agree with that. You know what I mean? Like IMF, in international, organizations through those like organizations indirectly we colonized. You know what I mean? But indirectly, for example, Ethiopia is never colonized. You know that, you guys. This
No, we don't agree.
why?
Because after the Italians left, the British stayed there for 19 years. So
You saying about Eritrea? One of the part of Ethiopia is
no,
Eritrea. Yeah,
no,
it's governed by British.
There was an Addis Ababa.
Nah. Addis Ababa and Ethiopia is never colonized, bro. Check different books, different historians. You can check.
We really don't want to argue. Like I said, we understand that. Like I said, colonization first starts with changing of the mind. All Ethiopians' mind would change. Ethiopia is a colonized name. So if Ethiopians weren't colonized, they wouldn't call themselves Ethiopians. That's the first step of colonization is to change the way you think. Is to take your history away. That's what they done. That's what they did to the whole African land. That's why everybody in Africa worship a white Jesus. The same Jesus and Mary that the people over here in America worship. Y'all worship the same Jesus. That's colonization.
But let me tell you this: why you guys are not going to Africa and then just for clearly understand what's the motive in there, and then what's the like it's better to help you on your movement.
We're gonna go to Africa, and guess what? We're gonna say the same thing.
No, at least try. Like if you sit in US and then if you try to know the truth, that's impossible. It's better to go there and then check on the ground and then live there and then ask the people, go around, like different countries, different regions, and then you more understand that. Otherwise, if you sit
so you gotta understand this. If we go to Africa, don't we gotta ask Africans?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Listen. If I go to Africa, if I go to New York City right now and they got something going on, I'm not going to ask. I'm gonna have to ask the people in New York City, no matter if I go there or not. So
yeah, bro.
Right now, for me to actually see what's going on, I have to stay either a long time or I have to ask some Africans, because I'm not gonna see it in one day. I ain't gonna see it in 2 days. So I still gotta ask the people in the land.
Yeah, listen to me. In Ethiopia, Jamaicans, they are not Ethiopians, but they live in what's called in Shashamane. They live for long years here. Long years there, So no problem. Just go there. I'll pay your visa fee and no problem. Just see and there.
But did you ever hear of prisoners of war?
Prisoners of war?
Yeah.
Leave it that one, leave it that one and just go and then follow the rules and that's it. Live there on the ground and then you will see, what's going on there.
Okay, but like I'm trying to get you to understand of the colonization in Ethiopia. Have you ever heard of the East African slave trade?
Yeah. That's long, like 100 years ago, Just leave it that. Now we are in the different reality, on the ground. So leave it that one, and then just go now and then see on the ground. Does that make sense? I mean, we are already in 2025. Yeah, we're not like this history you telling me, like in almost like 200, 300 years. Now we are in under the way of democracy. Every country has president or prime minister, and then they live in on the this way. So just go there and then see, and then what do you think, guys? Maybe after that I join your movement. You know what I mean?
Roberta, that's one of our plans is to come to Ethiopia. So those are part of this mission.
Yeah. Also, like Syrians, anyone come to Ethiopia, they can live, nicely and peacefully. Even Syrians, after the war, they came in Ethiopia and then they live. Sudanese, everyone, no problem.
Okay, man, we're gonna definitely give you a follow, man. Keep in touch with you. Like I
Okay,
said,
bro.
we definitely, provide a lot of help, man. So yeah, we definitely gonna give you a follow
Okay, bro.
and keep in touch,
I
man.
love,
Hey,
I
if
love you. I love you guys. God bless you, man.
yeah, much respect, brother.
Check out the
Peace, peace.
website,
Yeah,
bro.
check out the website and leave your information so we can have your contact.
Okay. Okay, bro. No problem.
All right, peace, brother.
Thank you, my man. See you, man.
And like I say, y'all, at the end of the day, man, that's what it's about, y'all. Like I said, if you gotta understand, it's a problem at hand. It's a problem. Those who want to fix it, unite and fix the problem. It's just that simple, man. It's not that hard. But like I said, the hardest thing right now is we let our indoctrinations divide us. If we got a problem right now, and you need somebody to fix it. If you trying to fix the problem, well, why you believe in Jesus? Let Jesus fix it. You don't do nothing. But we dealing with a generation where, hold up, we got to do something. So that means what? That Jesus might not be that real. I got to be what? Something more to the story. You see what I'm saying? It got to be more to the story. So again, y'all, we just here, like I say, to bring you back to reality, the reality check that a lot of people don't want to catch. And God got the power to do the same thing you read in the Bible, which is raise up living vessels. That's so hard for people to understand, but ain't nothing changed with God. God don't change. So if God got the same power to raise up vessels like God raised up in the Bible, nobody in the Bible came from the sky. So why would somebody come from the sky today? It ain't. That's why we got to get up and do it. We are the generation to realize that, well, damn, everybody waited on Jesus. Ain't nothing happened. Now it's getting worse. Should I wait or should I do? Now, the cold thing about that, you don't just do because God got laws, God got order. So you just can't get up and start doing stuff because you feel like it. You can get up and get in order and do the work of God. See, that's what people have forgot, the order. I'm going to get up and do it without no order. You don't fight in no game. You don't fight in the army without order. That's like you in a game right now. You don't get up and go ride on the ops just because you gonna get in with your boys. Y'all gonna plan something and you gonna do it in order. You don't just get up and go ride on the ops like that. That's out of order. And God ain't no damn street game. We know God way higher than that, but it's the same principle. So a lot of people have got up, but without the order of God. So if you get up without the order, you're not fighting for God. You fight out of order. So that's why the order of Melchizedek, the gospel, the being meek, coming to God as a child so you can receive that order, accept that order, and then what? Fight the good fight. Because this is a good fight we fight. We're not fighting the bad. This is a real good fight we are fighting.
But they accept the order with people who teach the Bible. But when it comes to Christ, who comes to fulfill it, they don't want to follow the order. But they're okay with following the order with people who teach the Bible. Like, it makes no sense.
I don't think they catch that one. I tell you, you already following the order, but when somebody is proclaimed that Christ is on earth, you can't follow the order. Because all the Bible say listen to Christ. It don't say listen to man. But you rather listen to man than listen to the anointed one. Like I say, y'all, that's why really it's not no forgiveness for a lot of people. A lot of people just can't be forgiven. You're just gonna wear your shame. And I'm not saying you're gonna leave because everybody coming to heaven. Everybody is coming to heaven, but everybody's not gonna be in a position they wanted to be. Everybody's not gonna be in a position they wanted to be. That's the problem. But y'all, like I say, man, y'all not we finna probably head out here, y'all. But y'all probably catch us live again Sunday. We don't go live every day like we used to, so it is what it is. But if you catch us when you catch us, if not, they go to the website. Everything is on the website. What we doing, y'all? YahJujudah.com. You can send us a message. Somebody will reach back out to you. We got a movement. This is not a religion. This is not a cult. This is not a game. This is the army of God to bring in righteousness on the earth to remove what? Unrighteousness. That's simple as this. And we the saints that's judging the world. Judgment is correction. We're going to put the world right back in the right correction. Because we know the world is not in it. We the generation. It's all on the TV. On social media. It ain't no secret. But now who gonna fix it? Who gonna be the mechanic? Who gonna be the real mechanic? Because You can have all the tools, but if you don't know how to work on the car, you can't fix your car. I don't give a damn what kind of tools you got. So we got the tools, but who gonna be a mechanic? Who gonna actually get on there and get dirty? The one who qualified. And if you mad at the one that's trying to fix the problem, who getting down and dirty trying to fix the problem, you mad at that? Shame on you. That's all we can say, y'all. You know, but as always, we hope to fall that circumcised. Y'all hearts and ears for the message. If you got something, you know.
Peace, y'all.
We out, y'all. Peace, peace.